Okay. I think maybe I got it. Maybe.
Are we live?
It says we is. And that's Jake answering. What kind? Well,
Hi.
good morning for whenever anybody shows up.
Okay, there we go.
We'll get ourselves a little oriented.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Why is it
Tell them just Cool Whip in a tub, not the spray thingy. Well, I'm finally starting to feel better, guys. But I was feeling better after it was time to do a coffee chat. So I'm like, why don't we just go live? We've never gone live on Unhinged.
Well, not since it's been unhinged.
Right. Sorry, I still have to make breakfast.
Noisy.
I know, sorry. That's why nobody in here yet anyway.
We got 6 amazingly beautiful people in here.
Really?
According to this.
Well, hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Sorry guys, you know how it is when we do it from the phone. It's always craziness.
A little wonky.
And a little wonky. Well, there's Evelyn Newman. Happy Valentine's Day to you. Yeah, we don't have any big plans. We're just... Oh boy, don't do that. Okay.
What did he? Sorry, that was noisy.
Hey, there's Gabby with Punky.
Hi, good Punky.
Hey, little man.
Gabby.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Bye-bye.
Hopefully, well, Sam should be home, right? It's weekend.
Yeah. It's a late start this morning, guys. I'm finally starting to feel human. Not all the way, but I've been on antibiotics now for 3 days. I'm pretty sure. What?
Yeah, keep going.
Oh.
I needed to breathe.
I'm pretty sure I had something a little bit more than just a head cold. The way I've been feeling, I haven't felt that way in a long time. So, yeah, antibiotics on my 3rd day. I'm feeling much better, but still a little rough getting going this morning, a little late. And that was kind of why I'm like, we really need to do a coffee chat. It's Valentine's Day, and I don't feel like just doing a normal coffee chat. So let's just go live with all you beautiful people. And yes, it's a late breakfast, but there's no time on the ridge most of the time. Is that Jake?
Hard telling. I think that was probably your phone.
Was it? Oh, don't worry about it.
ATN's out and about. Be safe.
Hi, ATN.
Doing your out and abouts. There's Arlene and Bo. Happy Valentine's to y'all. I know you're enjoying it. We don't have anything special planned, guys. We kind of talked about it the other day. Well, somebody had mentioned, Jake. We were talking to Jake, and he's like, well, I don't know what you plan on doing Saturday, but...
He's cooking his supper. He's already been down here this morning.
Yeah, he was like, we were talking about working on getting their area cleared, and he's like, well, I don't know if you're going to want to work. It's Valentine's Day. We're like, to be honest, guys, and I know it sounds cheesy, but to us, every day is Valentine's Day. We don't get real big on the whole commercialism of everything. Like, we just, it doesn't matter. Birthdays, holidays, all that kind of stuff. We're just, it's an everyday, right?
Yeah.
Still ends in Y.
So what do you guys think I should make for breakfast?
I think that I'm excited about our special package from Patrick.
I know.
Say that real fast.
Oh, I took a sip of this, and I'm like, oh, thank you, Patrick.
Oh, there it is. The happiness.
Thank you, Patrick. Yeah, so good. Yeah, leave it in the comments, because y'all, I didn't lose my sense of smell all the way. But I can't really taste anything, so nothing sounds good to make for breakfast. So what do you guys think I should make?
Teacher's Embroidery Creations. Well, hello. Welcome in. And Evelyn Newman saying, yeah, you definitely sounded a little better. There's Liam. Always good to see you, buddy.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, she is sounding a little better. And after...
I really haven't talked much
We're
to,
not
I'm
being
sure,
a mod.
Jason's, happiness.
Are you
haven't really
not
talked
ATN?
much. Oh, probably not on Unhinged. This is the first time we've done Unhinged. And we thought, We really enjoy our
Oh,
unhinged
you know what I
family.
need to do.
So
Okay.
let's just do this on unhinged and not White Rock.
Yeah, why? Okay. Why chat?
He's gonna get the mod stuff going. Well, I do have some sausage. Do you want me to make omelets? Does that sound good?
Okay, I'm convinced.
Okay, so I guess I need to make
Oh
up
gosh, I
some
did the wrong thing.
sausage. Excuse me, mister. You're in my way.
Oh, that's why. Hold, please. We got technical difficulties. You just pushed me out of the way. What a bully.
Well, it's not a normal coffee chat. So, we don't know what we're doing. We've said that all the time. Alright.
I try to act like it once in a while. I have to get logged in. I was wondering why I couldn't change anything, but I wasn't logged in under the...
You weren't even your own moderator, were you?
Well, I was, because I was on our main channel, so I was a mod on that, from that one, but... Alright.
Get her done, baby.
Alright, now we got that fixed, Danny, in. So let me go back to comments and see what I missed when I was swapping.
Yeah, but...
There's Pam Gobble. Alright, good morning and happy Valentine's Day to you.
We got an amazing package, special delivery from Patrick, Cuddly Texan. Oh, I took a first sip of this Texas pecan, and it was just like the angels singing in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Totally awesome. There's Troy Sutton coming in. But yeah, kind of going back to that though, like Jake was talking about, we actually went over, we did get the moving company that is gonna move the trailer over, which they did push it back a week, so that's good. Gives us a little more time because we are gonna have to put a culvert in and get the entrance from the road to the property, so the initial part of the driveway.
A lot of infrastructure.
Yeah, not ready to do all of it, but we're gonna at least do the minimum for now to get them down, because there's some other prep work. We gotta get some stumps and stuff out of there to do the full driveway. And as you know, right now my backhoe is down, and it's not quite in the planning budget and timing of everything to go get it fixed. I could do it, but I'm just not feeling like tearing into all them hydraulics right now. So, but we hopefully are gonna have, I think a mini X coming, hopefully the beginning of the week. And if that's the case, that'll be awesome. We can get over there and get that. But it's gray, gloomy, and raining outside right now. The rain actually kicked in last night, which was a little early. We thought it
we were
wasn't
sitting
gonna...
there and I'm like, is that thunder? Did you share it out on the main White Rock page?
I didn't do nothing.
Well, you should do that. He may have to bop over. See, we still got a little bit of it. I think we got 4 boxes of tissues with lotion that we just kind of like strategically placed around the house so that we always had access to tissues. But bop over and share it out on White Rock.
Okay, so I lied to somebody the other day when I said she was not feeling well enough to crack the whip. She just made a liar out of me.
Hey, I've given you like 4 or 5 days off.
Oh, you're bossy.
But y'all, I still have sea legs. Like, if you don't know what I'm talking about, like when you're on the ship, especially in the rocky seas that we were, you're always balancing yourself against the waves. And like, I don't know if it's because of the congestion or what, but I still have sea legs. I still feel like I'm on the ship. It's the oddest sensation. It's crazy. But
switching all.
yeah, I'm behind in everything. I'm behind in cleaning. I'm behind in laundry. I'm behind in
all right.
all of it. I'm gonna talk about behind.
Oh. Watch it, lady.
So yeah, just trying to get caught up and just not feeling the best. But I did get the video out of our week 1 on the cruise, and I love the comments from you guys over on the White Rock page, because that's all that matters to me, is that you guys see the creativity and appreciate the editing that goes into it. And even though the content is very similar to what everyone else is putting out, trying to put that creative spin to make it more interesting. And you guys really picked up on that, and I'm greatly appreciative because when you put so much of yourself into something and then it just kind of tanks, it can get a little defeating. But I'm happy with it. It's our memories, and that's all that matters. And I thought it turned out great. And looking forward to editing week 2.
Oh, that worked a lot easier.
Did you get her done, baby? Did you get her done?
I don't know. Don't ask me what I'm doing. I'm here pushing buttons. Okay. Now back to this thing. You want me to see comments?
Well, yeah.
Maybe I can do it. There we go. So,
I'll leave that out.
yeah, Auntie Ann said, yeah, she came home, sat down on the toilet, and could swear it was rocking.
Yeah, it's the honest sensation for sure.
You do get used to, you kind of catch yourself. Like, surprisingly, I didn't do it. I think the last cruise we did, even though it was a lot smoother water, and we were on there for a shorter amount of time, I didn't really. But I think there's a little something with having that sinus congestion, and I can feel it going into my ears a little bit. Was I think it's more of an equilibrium from being sick this time. Take a little longer to get your land legs back. Being sick, yes, Evelyn, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't have my land legs back.
And so, Petrus says, Tara, that means your equilibrium is off in your ears. I would also check their blood pressure. Yeah. Thank you, Petrus, and hope you guys feel better soon. Absolutely, yeah, and I'm sure it's that whole cold sickness. Like, we'd had a couple comments too, people are like, yeah, everybody that goes on a cruise. Well, I don't want to say everybody because, honestly, this is technically was our 4th cruise, even though it was a back-to-back, but it was 4 separate cruises. And the first 3, we never got sick.
No.
Never had a problem. It was that being on for the 2nd week. And I think a lot of it for this one also was going from, the first Sunday we started was in a torrential downpour. I thought for a minute we were going to have to throw Auntie Ann on my shoulders to keep her from drowning in a mud puddle. And plus the wind blowing, I was like, we better put some ankle weights on her. But then we got into that, 70, 80 degree weather down in the Caribbean, and it was amazing. And then when we came back the following Sunday, when everyone else got off and we stayed on, it was 44 degrees out that morning. They were chipping ice off the ship. And then we turned around and went right back to 80 degree weather. So, and then luckily when we came back, it was only like, I think 67. It wasn't as cold on the 2nd week as the first. So, yeah, just all kinds of shenanigans. And I do think that next time we'll make sure to put those little like pocket hand sanitizers. Because, this ship didn't seem to have
This is what's crappy. I have this emergency super orange. And I meant to take this before we went. And I didn't do it.
Indiana says, I love the cruise video. You did an amazing job on it, Tara.
Thank you.
Yeah, she does do great editing, guys. So Arlene and Bo says, we had our first experience processing a hog with our neighbor this week.
Oh, nice.
We're taking today off from all the canning, freezing, and rendering. A wonderful learning experience and good clean meat. Oh yeah, there's nothing better than farm raised, not bulk farm, when it's a private farmer raising it, and then when you get to be able to process it yourself. There's Sheila Tubbs. Good morning to you.
I'm really hoping
Happy Valentine's Day.
To get our hogs in this year.
Yeah. Auntie Ann said her and Mike didn't get sick. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was week 2.
And I'm almost guaranteeing for us it was from week 2.
At least on the Facebook groups for both sets of cruises, because there's you put your Carnival ship in and the date you go, and there's a special Facebook group for that. And yeah, the 2nd week group, sickness abound. Influenza A, the Rona, strep, and upper respiratory has been the profounding factors of complaints in that 2nd week group.
Yeah. There's Terry and my battle buddy Mike and my MT. Happy Valentine's Day to the both of you lovebirds. Kathleen Sasser's in here. Good morning. Evelyn Dubin. Quit picking on Annie. Well, she makes it so easy. If we didn't, she'd think we didn't love her.
She takes it in
Let's see. There's Greg Cozier. Happy Valentine's Day to you.
I know I wished him a happy birthday, but happy birthday again.
And let's see, Annie Ann said, yeah, Saturday during that horrible wind, I was walking on deck 10, the wind caught me, and a guy had to grab my arm. I thought I was going to go overboard. Yeah, that was pretty strong. I mean, like, when we went out on that deck 3 one before they shut it down, that was definitely like a 2-person open them doors. Because they had shut, they shut the automatic door off. What?
I'm out of propane.
That sounds like a you problem.
Okay, no hot water for a hot minute. That's all right.
Yeah. There's Lori Larkin. Good morning and happy Valentine's Day to you also. Greg says thank you, Tara. So awesome. We have showing what 42
Wow.
amazing individuals coming in and hanging out with us on our random. I mean, we just figured, hey, we were gonna do a coffee chat. Why not do it live? Give us something, a little interaction, because we're not going outside in this rain.
No.
We're already sick as it is.
I gotta show you guys something.
I thought about going to bingo tonight, but then Jake
Yeah, I thought about it.
had messaged and said that they were making dinner. Him and Chloe wanted to come down, and I don't know, they got something going in the crock pot over there. And
Like a au jour beef sandwich. Kind of probably like those steakums we had, or the steak sandwiches we had on the ship.
oh,
So you guys,
I'm in.
I came home super excited, and here's where my lofty brain went. So before we left for the cruise, I was I cleaned up an avocado seed, and I thought I want to grow an avocado tree. I love avocado, so why wouldn't I try to grow one? And so we had gotten avocados, and I cleaned some pits. And you're supposed to put them in a, clean the skins off, put them in a wet paper towel, put them in a baggie, and put them in a dark place. Which is what I did. And then by the time I got home, I couldn't remember where that dark place was. So I had to tear my kitchen apart looking for where I put these avocado pits. But I found them. They were in the bread box. And I'm so super stoked, guys. I gotta show you this. Came home, and it sprouted. I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me get closer.
Oh, there's
Watch out, there's a fridge there. Look, can you guys see that? It popped open and it sprouted. I'm so super excited. Now I just gotta remember, research, or figure out what I gotta do with it next. And this one hadn't sprouted
Don't
yet.
you just plant it?
I think so. But I
isn't
thought,
it that simple?
I was thinking I had to do water. Oh, this one popped, but it didn't sprout. And it got kind of moldy.
There's Paul Honeyman. Good to see you.
Okay, so this one's a fail.
Oh, Greg Cozier's battling a cold too.
Although it did pop.
There, Mr. and Mrs. Joe Jr.
I wonder if I just clean it and put it in a new paper towel, maybe?
Alright. Oh yeah, Evelyn says, wow,
Oh, it is
that's very
starting to
cool.
sprout. I can see it. It's starting to sprout. But I think I have to put it in water. I gotta do something with it again. I'm just not sure what. Okay. So we're just gonna wrap this one back up and get rid of the old one. I might have 2 avocado plants. That's
Might be
exciting.
interesting.
Alright. I'm gonna put this back in the bread
Paul
box.
saying happy Valentine's Day to all the ladies.
Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you.
Yeah. I think I'm actually caught up there. But, yeah, so still trying to get through it. I don't know. I may need to go in and go. I don't know how many more antibiotics we got. Not too many. May have to go get some more for myself.
Well, I mean, you haven't ran a fever.
No, but I'm feeling it going into my ear.
You
It's
might
probably
wanna
why
do
I've been so loud.
antihistamine. Do an antihistamine, remember?
What?
An antihistamine.
What's that mean?
it's like an allergy medication that kind of helps to drain the sinuses.
Oh. Use all them big words for me. I don't know what all that means. Yeah, and all the animals seem to be doing really, really well.
We bred the bunnies the other morning.
Yeah, so, and I think that was pretty successful with them. Got three of the does, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're about time to do a round to send in some to freezer camp though. We're
Chrissy and Jack are getting old.
Well, they are, but we also, it's a matter of like feeding them all, and honestly, a lot of it is I'm out of water. Like, I can't create another rabbit shelter because I don't have any more water bottles. We've had quite a few that it froze, which is a chance you take, right? But they're also, because they're older and then they're out in the elements, they get the sun on them and all that kind of stuff, they get brittle. And then I've dropped a couple just trying to fill them up because, you know, you lose your grip or whatever and cracks them. So I'm like, well, I'm down to my last water bottle to be able to put over there. I've even used all my backups that we bought before. And
well, I'm not too worried about it because we're about to make some big changes on location of all the animals. So it just may force our hand to move a little quicker on the relocation of the animal husbandry section, the food court, per se.
thanks, Paul.
Not
Yeah,
the
so
meat part.
so Paul says, Tara, Jason's a lucky man, which you are absolutely right. I am
Thank
very
you.
lucky. The way you cook, I'd snap you up. But I ain't anywhere near as handy as Jason is.
We make a good team.
That's awesome. Oh, Auntie M having autocorrect issues. Saying hi to Terry. I've seen people placing a long skinny piece of wood through the avocado to suspend it in water. You can use toothpicks to suspend the avocado.
There was one. You have to supposedly be careful of piercing the seed. It damages the seed. So I'll just have to go back. I saved it in my phone. I really didn't expect it to work. Because one of my things that I would like to do is when we tear down the greenhouse and we relocate the garden, I'd really like to utilize those cattle panels and the current greenhouse as high tunnel to where we actually grow, you know, I want fruit. Well, I think I talked about this already, but I want fruit trees. You know,
There
like
we go.
lemons and limes
I didn't need
and
to chat comments on that phone. It was throwing me off.
some citrus and avocado and banana, and do some of those more tropical ones where just opening the door to the high tunnel would be enough because they're used to that more tropical thing. So I don't know. Dreams. I've come to realize at my age and my abilities, I might have to curtail some of my dreams because I got a lot.
Well, I mean, I guess you say curtail. I think it's just kind of postpone a few of them in a way, only because we need to finish getting our main infrastructure stuff done around here. And then it's like, all right, hey, what project do we want to, you know, hey, our main house is done, the main shop is done, like all those types of things. And then we can start playing around. Plus, the land does limit a lot of things, but I'm excited to finally start getting to clear out back over here, and some of this over here to really push it back. Like, I like the nestled in feel of where we've left a lot of the trees, but it's also right now, because everything's so overgrown, nothing's going to grow and be good. So I need to do some good forestry management, and which will then open up the property and kind of give us a little better idea of, hey, we can actually do a little bit more down there. Like, it might be down the hill, but there's a flat spot over there. Paul says, yeah, you guys do make a good team, and have me in fits of the giggles more than I care to admit. That's good. Hey, if you're laughing at us, because we're normally laughing at us most of the time too. There's Nelda Pearson coming in. Hello, good morning. Glad you're back, and glad y'all got to have a wonderful time.
See, I just had sea legs.
Absolutely. Yeah, Greg, you're going to need a bigger greenhouse. We're always going to need a bigger greenhouse. Just when I thought it was going to be a year that we were like, hey, we're just going to do a little bit of seeds, and then she doubled the amount.
Well, my thing is, I mean, y'all have said it before. Why are we not doing something to make?
I don't know
money on
about
our
that,
homestead?
Paul. It won't make it easier. It'll make it
So,
boring.
That's kind of what I'm. You know, I know I don't want to make $1 million off my homestead, or it's too much work. I'm retired, but if we can make money off doing things that we love, and for me, that's gardening, and baking, and cooking, and crafts, and.
Well, a lot of it too is one of those that we realize more and more. We talk about it all the time because I think that it needs repeated because a lot of people need to hear it. Is the fact that in order to grow older, you need to stay active. And I'm not saying, hey, you need to go to the gym and you need to do marathons and you need to. I have no idea where that's from, but obviously it's important to something because it's been sitting here for a while.
I bet it's important to Jenna.
But it's that whole don't just sit on the couch and Now obviously, if you have physical limitations. That does put a lot of restrictions on it, and I get it, right? But the more that we can be active and keep ourselves to where it could be as simple as walking to the dang mailbox, guys. It's just that physical activity of keep moving, because once you sit down and you say, hey, I can't do this anymore, then it's done, it's over with, and we don't want that. So part of it is creating a lifestyle that we can go well into our 80s or 90s or Lord forbid either one of us make it to 100.
Oh, he's wishful thinking. Peppers and onions, please.
No. That it's going to force us to get up and get moving and, oh my gosh, where am I supposed to find those at?
They should be in the top. I left them in the top. I've had to rearrange things to make room for my freeze-dry trays. Nope, that's avocado.
That looks like
Peppers.
baby puke. Alright, well, there's Patrick enjoying some of that amazing
Thank you, Patrick.
brew you sent us, brother. That's just enough to make everybody's day much gooder.
Yes.
Alright, well, they're stuck out for a while. I think I'm getting ice built up in the bottom again. Let's see. So Petra says, yeah, I feel you, Tara. The same for me. With my shoulder and lower back issues, I have to curtail a lot also. My son has to do the work for me.
Yep.
Greg, now that the time to clear out the underbrush before spring. Yes, and we weren't home last year to get a lot of it done. And we're already into February, and I feel so behind on getting some of it cleared. But then we had to kind of prioritize getting Jake's area done, but I was actually hoping today to get over and get my bench mounted chainsaw sharpener set up somewhere solid so I can go through all my chainsaw chains, but I'm not doing it in the rain and I don't really have an indoor spot that's great with power and light to do it, so.
Well, I think because it is such a rainy day,
there's Daryl over, not your daddy. Good to see you.
Hey, Daryl. I think we plan on doing game night, and
I'm seeing
whatever
called
that
out
looks
by
like.
the
Anyway.
Jason will not be around till 100. Tara's cracking that whip and working his ass to an earlier grave. Not really.
Are you forgetting that I'm way older than him?
Well, and here's the thing. So, Patrick said, I had to get off the couch. I felt like I was getting called out, so he went to the recliner. That's much gooder. I like that plan. Did Tara, yes. And she made both of these mugs, actually.
Yeah.
And
I have like 5 more that just came out of Bisque Fire that I'm really looking forward to. This one was actually one of my first ones I made. You can see how wonky it is. And then this was out of my last batch, and then I got another batch coming. I am a mug lover.
Ooh, there's a couple more Valentines right there. Laura and Ollie.
Hi guys.
Yeah, she actually made me a different one originally.
It's really cool.
And we have it. We just have to glue the handle back on because
But you can't use it because it's broke.
Found out that it was dishwasher safe, but it wasn't safe to just set in the sink evidently. I don't know. Seemed like it was set for failure of some sort. But it's a super cool mug because it's got like branches and...
It's right around the corner.
It is over there, isn't it?
Yeah. I spent so long on this.
Yeah, this one is super cool because it's got, like, obviously the handle is supposed to be somewhere in here, like this, and it's like a branch with the vines. Super cool, and I loved it. I mean, the handle was a little bit skinny for grabbing, but it works. And then, but I don't know. There was some failure point in it to where
I mean,
we literally just put it in the sink.
Yeah.
But I don't know if
mocked it with another one, but
yeah.
I wanted it to be the tree because he's the foundation. He's our root. You know, he is our strength and our solids.
Oh, she put me in the dirt already. Yeah, I love the mugs. So let's
And this is one I made for Jenna. For her like chocolates.
Oh.
And then I made a whole set of these. Well, 3. But these are for soups. And so the kids love these for soups. They'll eat their chilies and their everything out of them. And,
Hey, Big Wave.
so yeah, I really like that one. They turned out all different, in different sizes.
It's
and
been
stuff.
noticed that you claim the bigger coffee mug, and yes,
Always.
she always does.
Wait till you see my next ones.
Yeah.
And then I do have.
But she definitely needs more coffee to be human than me, so it's only fair.
I have a creamer that I made, and then this is a grandbaby chocolate mug for the grandbabies. So they have their own little sizes. And I could sit here all day. I got one.
Patrick said, yeah, he mixed his last blend of the pecan with a stronger breakfast blend so I can taste it. I'll add more as I use it to find the right mixture. Yeah, you got.
I do half and half.
Is it half and half? You do a 50-50?
I do 2 scoops of regular and 2 scoops of the pecan.
Yeah. Looking at Jason, looking at Tara, we all understand you liking a thicker handle to grab.
I don't even take offense to that.
No. Paul says, "Don't hit me, Tara."
He speaks the truth. I laugh at myself. I know I ain't no.
Well, but that's
No
something
mama.
that we've talked about quite a bit. A beanpole wasn't it for me. Auntie Ann says she loves the soup mugs. Yeah, the whole idea originally too was she's got some of the plates and a couple different bowls and
Yeah.
stuff that we were gonna make the whole set for the house, and I think eventually that'll happen. She started with some of those and they came out really, really well.
Well, I did a nesting
Oh,
set.
happy Valentine's Day to you, Karen. Karen Breast making it in.
So I've got a set of bowls, and I did. Let me go around here and I'll show you.
Oh, Paul says, Tara, we love you just as you are, sweetheart. Don't ever change.
I'll try that. But I did a scroll work around all the bowls, and then I did a spiral in the center. And so I've got, because all different sizes. of the
So
bowls.
everyone wants to know, how did you end up warming up your pasta that you snagged on the ship?
I know, bean spilling, right? I didn't. I could not find a good viable way to heat it up. That
She
I felt
had
comfortable.
some plans, and it was going to be entertaining. I intended on
'Cause
recording it.
There's no microwaves in the rooms. There are no coffee pots in the rooms. Yeah, it didn't end up happening. But I think that that's where we all need to look at, like, our mental space when it comes to food and how we treat food. And I think growing up, you know, as a young kid on, you know, government cheese and everything, I mean, food scarcity was a thing, right? And plus being raised by grandparents who went through the Depression, you don't waste food, right? You finish your plate. All of these things that are ingrained in you as you grow, as you're forming yourself and your identity and your brain connections. And so when you see so much food wasted, it just kind of feels awful and it goes against your grain. And for me, that was like, I just quit ordering stuff. And honestly, I've barely eaten anything for a week. probably because I've been sick, but also because I have felt so gross eating 2 weeks of gross food, but delicious and amazing gourmet food, but all processed. And we both have felt the issues with it.
And we knew that was going to be a thing. I mean, we've done that every time, and we knew going into it
Yeah.
that but you don't really get much of a choice, and that's kind of where, if you've seen in the video, and she did leave it in there, I was reluctant to even help her put it in the bag. I'm like, you're ridiculous. There's no way to warm this up. You're not going to eat it later because, well, once it's cold, it's not going to be as good. You have no way of warming it up. Like, you're still wasting the food. You're just now wasting a plastic bag to go with it. And so I was like, no, I'm not going to help you in your little shenanigans. But I did end up helping her get it
And I
in
sat there and I'm like, you know how many hogs I could feed out on all the food that people waste?
Well, there is. But then we were kind of talking with some people on the ship, too, about that was, you know, they have a lot. They put videos out. They have a lot of stuff, you know, signs and whatnot on the cruise ship was like, hey, don't waste the food, right? Like, take what you want, take what you're going to eat. And don't just grab something, but also there's also an element, right? There's foods that you're not going to eat every day, at least like we don't have every day, or something new that we've never heard of, and we're like, oh, we want to try a little bit, and we'll typically take a little portion of that if we're going to try it. And if we don't like it, hey, it goes. But we were kind of curious, and we had a conversation with some people on the ship that, like, what are they doing? How are they disposing of all this stuff? And they had said that, yeah, a lot of the ships actually do it where they take all that scrap food and it goes into not really an incinerator, but a eviscerator, whatever, right? It goes in, it gets all chopped up, and then they feed the fish. Which
I go back and
I think in the realm of things is a wise way of doing it. Like, it's way better than, I remember being on the Navy ship for a couple weeks. And they kind of had a storage area for all the trash, right? Everything that was trash went into the big bags, and they emptied them every day. But then those bags got stuffed, and then once we got out so far, they just pitched it all over the side. I was just blown away that that's how they got rid of the waste. But come to find out, a lot of it with the cruise ships and stuff, they'll run the food, the scrap food, through the grinder and, you know, dump that out. But it's food; it's going to feed, you know, and it's biodegradable. And then a lot of the stuff that they can burn, they actually have incinerators where they burn them. So a much better plan than seeing it how they did it on the naval ships. I was actually kind of upset when I found out that that's what they did. Like, these big, they're like, oh, we're out so far, you can just dump it. I'm like, are you kidding me? But I'm not the one in charge of all that. Well, my brain's supposed to be connected. Oops. No, Patrick. No, we don't connect brains anywhere. So all you can be jealous. Terry gave me a mug she made last time I was on the bridge. Oh yes, Laura. I think she's gifted out just a couple of them. Not really too many.
David got one.
Who, David?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's about the only two that have really been gifted out. Wasting food to me is the biggest crime. We had to sit at the table until the plate was empty as a kid. Even liver and onions. Yeah, and I'm not a fan of liver and onions, but you're right. And honestly, it was funny because every time she talked about it, it was like, man, can they like, you can't really repurpose it, right? But you can. Can you collect it all up and feed it, you know, donate it to a local farmer or something in that manner? But when you're looking at what are the logistics of that? That's where my brain went with it, was how do you logistically take a 7-day cruise and all this food that's left over and put it somewhere? Because once, you know, everything from day one is going to already start like fermenting, it's going to stink. Like, how do you reduce all that? And there really isn't a way. I mean, the best way I could think is obviously the way that they're doing it. It is run it through a shredder that pumps it out into the ocean and feeds the fish. And if it doesn't, well, it settles and, you know, decomposes and becomes, you know, part of the ocean. But, you know, here at home and stateside and stuff like that, yeah, hey, fine, we'll get to-go trays. We'll bring it, even if it's stuff that, hey, we'll just feed it to the chickens later. And when we get the hogs, that'll really be a big thing, is getting it fed to the hogs. Oh, Auntie Ann said I found out on the cruise you could ask them to make your eggs or omelet using butter instead of seed oil.
That's what I need to do because I literally could
Yeah.
Just taste the chemical.
Patrick says he recently switched to tallow. I was expecting a taste difference, and there really wasn't. No, I mean, I think using the tallow kind of enhances some of the flavors. The only thing that you would really notice of going that route is the lack of chemical taste. But unless you're eating kind of like the way we do, everything that you're growing yourself and it doesn't have all the preservatives and the chemicals and all that in it, you won't even notice that chemical taste when you go back to trying to eat stuff that you don't normally eat. But I did see a couple of people going up for the omelets on the ship that they said, hey, don't use the oil, only use maybe a little bit of the cooking spray. And honestly, I kind of watched the way they were doing it, and yeah, they were guaranteeing that you were going to clean your GI tract out because there was no need for them to use the amount of oil
Oh,
they
it's
did.
awful. So since our freezer took a wallop in poo, I've been freeze drying a lot of things. And we have, I think we picked these up at a discount store. They're like 50 cents for a big pack of hash browns. I normally wouldn't buy them, but when we have guests over and stuff, so I'm gonna freeze dry these. I think when we do the Katy Trail, it'll be a great addition to the breakfast. So I need to go get that other pack and.
Oh, Laura, you
Try to
definitely,
wash it,
she
yeah.
says, I feel even more special now. Oh, sweetheart, you were definitely special. And I don't care what Ollie says. I'm not talking about helmet special. You're like special. Yeah. Let's see. Paul says, talking to Patrick, yeah, Mom always used lard for doing her frying and chips. Yeah. Chunky fries to you Americans. Even Crisco has the bad ingredients in it.
Oh, Crisco's awful.
Yeah.
I'll use it sparingly in some of my mama's older recipes because I haven't found a very cost-effective alternative.
Well, and the joke said, yeah, even in the olden days, McDonald's used beef tallow to cook their fries
Yeah.
and switched to canola oil. Some companies here in the U.S. started cooking potato chips and beef tallow. They are yummy. Yeah, a lot of those fast food restaurants, and that's been kind of a big thing amongst the food community, was when they all started, they were all using tallow. And then they went to the oils, the seed oils, and people were like, why doesn't it taste as good as it? Well, because it's got so much more crap in it. And there's actually been a transition that some of those companies are now going back to using the tallow. The best clean out comes with a good, laxative or food poisoning, right? I use bacon grease for a lot of things.
Oh yeah, I got 3 up here. I keep going.
Yeah.
That's what I'm cooking in right now.
We keep that, and actually she does have some fat, but we haven't rendered any of that down that we got from Erica Missy when they got the hogs done.
Well,
Bacon grease is better. Oh yeah,
yeah,
bacon
some of
grease
that
is always
fat that we
better.
got from Eric and Missy from the hogs, I need to put back in because when we butcher these rabbits, I'm going to be making rabbit sausage.
Right.
So I'm keeping it, but I'll.
But we keep enough bacon grease really that we don't need to use any of the tallow, in that realm of it. But yeah, and of course bacon grease is always better than everything because it just tastes good. I mean, I don't know how well it works if you want to use it in a cake, but well, why wouldn't you? Bacon flavored cake. Okay, I'm not mad at it. It's cake and bacon in one? Yes, please.
Speaking of cakes, that's the other thing. I'm not doing homemade cake today. I ain't up for all that. But I am gonna make a jello cake.
Oh. I'd say we have that one, a box that I keep looking at every time we go in the studio.
I can't stand just a regular box cake. And he had to have, you guys know his sweet tooth. He had to have one of those Oreo cheesecake in a box, no bake things.
Let's see. I do love my fried bread and eggs cooked in bacon grease.
Oh,
yes. Hey, there's a Nona Melcher. Hey, Nona. Good to see you, sister. Save my bacon grease for a traditional German case. Okay. There's Peter. I have to go. Have a wonderful Valentine's Day. You too. Appreciate you coming in. Glad you could make it in there. I don't even know how long we've been on. 44 minutes. I don't know. We didn't put a limit on ourselves.
No,
so
we didn't. I mean,
we don't have
we're
a
just
limit.
going along. We'll stay as long as y'all want us to.
The only thing that's happening right now is the rain is coming harder.
Right.
So, there's Jeannie Lipsky. Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Hello,
Yes.
hello.
Good to see. I use lard for anything I don't want to taste like bacon. Yeah, and that's true, right? That's why you get the lard or the tallow is, you know, baking a cake or anything you don't want a bacon flavor in. Which totally makes sense. I was wondering about the third person in the room, but it was Tara's reflection on the right side of the picture. Wondered if there was a third person here. It was our friendly ghost, right?
No, there's an old man here. He just comes and watches sometimes.
Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Paul giving it out there. Awesome. So, yeah, we just figured this was the better way to do it. I finally got through all the comments this morning. That was a little bit of a challenge. I kind of let them back up a little bit, but when the body's not feeling great, the brain ain't working the greatest either. And we kind of talked about that this morning. We're like, holy man, we've been getting up because we don't feel well and just burning brain cells on our phones. And we're like, we have to find a different way. Like, why aren't we sitting outside? And then we looked out and we're like,
okay, that makes sense.
because it's rainy and nasty. In the summer, it's not really a big deal. We'll get up in the morning. That's why we have the rocking chairs. That's why we have a lot of things that are outside. You know, and doing the outdoor kitchen is, hey, we grab our coffee, we go sit out there, and we watch the birds and the squirrels and just listen to the sounds and, you know, just enjoy. But that's when it's nice out. But nobody wants to go outside when it's miserable. We are definitely fair weather, outdoorsy people. Not all about having to load up on umbrellas and rain jackets, and I don't even think we own any rain gear. I keep watching over there because one of these days I know I'm just going to see a big buck walking down that hill.
I know, I see too.
And it's the potential, like every time I'm looking out, I mean, one, it's my squirrel moments because literally there's squirrels out there. And, but imagining it once it's opened up and we get all that land cleared off. I'm actually kind of excited about this rain because we talked about, we've got Jake's area over there, and I pushed a lot of it up into a big brush pile. There's a few more trees that I need to cut down on the backside of that brush pile, and I think I'm going to push it forward and just try to burn it all off. And this rain is going to help in the fact that I can burn that without it burning the whole ridge down. Truth be told, the big fire going down that way would be probably very beneficial, but
cheddar and 3 slices.
Cheddar
and we keep calling it Jake's site, guys, but it's also Jenna's site too, because they're going to have a shared driveway as well as shared other things too. So it's not just Jake's and Chloe's site; it's Jenna's too. So that's kind of that.
Well, but Jenna's shed is there. I guess yeah. I don't refer to it as both in the moment just because like Jenna's house was already over there. And I mean, they're gonna have to share water and electric and all that kind of stuff. But Jenna's is already there, and Jake's is over a little bit further. But yeah, that whole corner is theirs. And anybody else that decides to move down. Oh, some comments that went down. It was Tara's reflection. Oh, and the stainless behind you. Yeah. Jason talked smack about HEB. I almost demanded the return. I know, I didn't mean to. I just, a lot of people don't understand. Like, I actually just seen a post today where one of my cousins is visiting their son down in Georgia, and they're like, man, how has Ingles never been a thing? Like, when you get into a local grocery store that is your local grocery, typically your meat is better. It's better than buying from a big box store. And then just how they keep the shelves clean and stocked and the friendly service and that kind of stuff. So I do prefer a more small one, but I apologized in that comment and I stand corrected. It is definitely not, and please don't request a refund because, well, that would just be a very bad time. Speaking of, I'm going to get a little bit more. I can't go too much here. I'm going to be bouncing off the walls, but the stuff is good. So it's very overcast. Oh, Winona, yeah, overcast and 55 up there. Well, you guys are on a heat wave then. Lucky you, it's getting colder here again. Ooh, 36 and raining over for Paul Honeyman.
No.
Yep, Nona, we're having a late breakfast too. Matter of fact,
We're having breakfast for lunch.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's getting a little smoky in here. I don't want to turn our fan on all the way because it'll just drown us out.
There's Cat V.
Hey,
Happy
Cat.
Valentine's Day. I'd seen her comment. She put a really cool comment about going down to New Orleans a lot. And there was a lot of comments about being there. And we actually did, on our return, we had kind of talked about it a little bit, but they did have the start of Mardi Gras that second weekend, like that Sunday we came home. Actually made it kind of difficult of getting out of downtown New Orleans because it was there. But that's one of those things that I'd rather watch on TV or watch a video do something. I don't want to participate in it. When we did our walkabout on this last video, when we went down with the whole group, we were down there. We were out of there by like 6 o'clock, right? Because the rain had come in. And that's when people started to come in and it started to get kind of flooded. And that's not a good time. More for me, I don't like them large crowds and having to be elbow to elbow to everybody. And so, as cool as it would be to be like, oh yeah, I went down and experienced Mardi Gras, it was more for me, it was like, hey, we've been on Bourbon Street, I've seen the potential. Who hasn't seen the videos of an actual Mardi Gras? Yes, there's a lot of tradition with it and you have to see it in person, but that's not enough for me. I don't do those crowds well. So I was actually glad that it wasn't the full on. What a cool experience, and if you get a chance to go down and do it, and that's something that you can handle, by all means, go do it, but not for me.
I mean, it would have been great in our 20s. Oh, we would have been living it up, but not now.
Let's see. So there's Lacey saying good morning. Happy Valentine's Day to you
Good
too.
morning.
There's Charlene Grady coming in. Good morning.
Will you get my homemade ketchup out?
Patrick says, I lived in 6 different states. HEBs, all tops and local owned. They've already stated that they will not carry in fruits or vegetables that use Bill Gates poison here. Oh,
hey,
nice.
I like that.
Right?
I like that a lot.
Yeah. But 6 different states that have them. And I don't think Arkansas has any.
Oh no, because it's all Walmart.
Auntie Ann, haha, Jason, you made fun of me saying I bounce off the walls with too much coffee, and you just said it. Oh, yeah. Oh, I know. Like, typically I've already had more coffee than I normally would.
I'm fine with 2 pots.
Yeah, she says 2 pots. I'm good with, like, 2 cups. And she's like, I need 2 pots. I'm like, yeah. I think y'all mentioned Corpus Christi on your live. Are you going to visit? There's Big Wave. I don't know. We talked about going back down to Corpus. That's one of those, the wintertime stuff. We kind of talked with the last 2 weeks, and we've been talking with some of the group. Cruising in January into early February. Not as appealing as we thought. And I only say that because, like you see,
The cold, the hot.
right, we're going from cold temps here in the States to go down to the Caribbean, which is warm, and then you come back. It's influencing more of getting sick. And yeah, nobody wants that, nobody needs that. And the temperature, for me, now I'm not a cold water person at all, guys. Anything below bath water is cold water to me, and that's only needed for drinking, not swimming in. And so, when we went in the spring and when we went in the fall, the water temperatures down there were much more tolerable, and even on the ship, it was more tolerable. But going this time of year where the air temperature is a little bit less, yeah, it was almost to where, I think, well, the one day I did get on with Anthony and I went about shin deep in the pool. And I was like, yeah, no, these are way too cold. Now the kids loved it. Of course, they're blue lips and shiver, and it's not cold. I don't believe you. But then the travel weather, which didn't bother us necessarily, was kind of a cool thing to see it a little bit rougher waters. Because we don't get motion sick, luckily, and we don't get seasick, so it doesn't bother us in the travel aspect of it, but it is much more comfortable when the seas are calmer, so That's where Corpus Christi had come up. Was we've talked about maybe instead of doing a cruise in the winter, around January, February is
We just go back to snowbirding.
yeah, we just kind of go back to snowbirding where we grab the camper and go south and tour some areas down around there. So that's kind of where that was going. Let me see who else is in here. Yeah, Mardi Gras goes on for 2 weeks. It's a blast. Fat Tuesday is the big day. Yeah, and I don't disagree that it's probably a really great time to go down and party, but I don't.
It's not our vibe.
Well, yeah, and I don't do the crowds that well. I can't enjoy it because I'm too nervous and anxious around that many people.
I mean, our good times are our lives with you guys when you bagel and praying us to death.
Yeah. Oh, Lori Larkin was saying, yeah, we're having a very warm February. For up there, it's 27. Normally it's like -4, -10. Yeah.
The homemade ketchup, I'm still loving. Still loving.
Jeannie says, I was there in 72. Can't imagine what it would be like now. Karen Bress. All right, Karen, go enjoy. She says, everyone have a wonderful and safe day. She's going to go hang out with her grandson. Awesome.
That's Valentine.
What a great Valentine that is. Yeah, don't go to Corpus in the summer unless you want to melt. Yeah, no, exactly. We had actually only went to Corpus in the wintertime anyways, and that was because we were trying not to freeze. And it was perfect for wintertime. It's just like, I have no intentions on going to Florida in the summer. You know, and to do a cruise in the summer, one, it'd be a whole lot more kids and craziness because, you know, summer vacations and stuff, but...
That's just yummy. That's just...
Oh, yeah. Delicious.
It just
Paul
tastes...
says he's got the same slow cooker.
That's actually Jake's.
Just not so big. Yeah, that one's actually Jake's because... Well, I don't even... Do we even have a regular crock pot anymore?
It's in storage.
Do we? Because we have 2 different size Instapots, so we just use those all the time. When I say we, means I eat the food out of what she makes in them.
Yeah. So I gotta process all the jalapenos also that were in that tall freezer.
Oh, Big Wave says Corpus is his hometown. Grew up in Flower Bluff. It was cool going to Corpus. I mean, the city itself was too big for me. I didn't really care for that much, but being on the military base was cool. Going to see some of the museums, like there was a lot of things to do, and then being able to drive out on the beach. It was fun to explore, and it's one of those. It's kind of like to me, which the price of staying there, like I would probably go back, but also like going back to the whole New Orleans thing, which as of right now we're scheduled to go back in November for our 14-day cruise out of there. Which we're still excited for that, just because the locations where we're going. I think that's going to be what I count 5 new ports that we haven't been to. There's only going to be 2 repeats, and plus that one we're going a lot further south. We're going all the way down to.
Well, I can tell you a port I'm not getting off on, and that's Montego Bay.
Yeah.
Nope.
So yeah, definitely excited about it, but the whole. I've been on Bourbon Street, knocked it off the bucket list.
Yeah.
About the only thing, and we've talked about that I would like to do when we go back in November is actually go sit through the videos that they have at the World War II Museum. And I do think that we missed an entire building with all the extra airplanes. I don't know how, and I don't know where, but looking at everything that was on there, there was one that had a whole lot more, like the Boeing Center or something it was called, and it had a lot more airplane stuff in it. And maybe, just maybe, when it's not Mardi Gras, it won't be as busy. It was kind of hard to see all the displays, because you'd be reading it, and then there's just more people coming in, you know. But it totally, if you guys are ever near enough to New Orleans, it's worth the drive.
Well, you'll see a lot of it on our next video. Because I did a lot of filming from inside the museum.
Oh no,
So,
Paul.
You guys will see a lot of it.
Auntie Ann says, yeah, November would be better than January. Paul says, I've literally cleared ice from an outside pool to go swimming. Yeah, no. You'll never catch me doing that. Patrick says, I get motion issues when I get back to land. I get my sea legs fast, but land legs not so much. And honestly, that's not an uncommon thing, especially when you spend so much time. There's a lot of people that'll get the whole sea leg thing from being on a little bit of rough water on a small boat on a lake for the day.
I did a lot of pondering when we were on our second week of our cruise. And, you know, all those mornings I was up at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and go find coffee and go out to a deck and just sit and think. And I asked myself, you know, why do we love cruising so much? Is it the atmosphere? When we're with friends, but no, because we're not big city people. We don't like crowds. Is it the food? No, it's good and fun to eat once or twice, but then not really. Is it the port of calls? Yes, somewhat. But you seen one in the Caribbean, I feel you kind of almost see them all except for the blue waters with the Cosmo. So I went through this whole, you know, what is it about cruising that we love so much? And I just kept coming back to being on the water. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to spill some beans and ask questions because I need your guys' input.
All right, one second. Let me touch these up. Wow, so Tuesday's a day for us fatties, right? 47 degrees, says Kath, up there by Chicago. Nice. There's K come in, K62. Good to see you, K. Lacey says, yeah, I saw a post yesterday that said, look at February acting all springy and warm. Like it didn't just try to kill us last week. True story. We ain't equipped for ice trauma here in Mississippi. Mm-mm. Yeah, and we're not really here in Arkansas either, so that was a big part of why we stayed for the second week, was we knew that we weren't going to be doing much. Yes, Arlene, it is the rain. I love that sound. Just sounds... and we get it a little bit more here in the kitchen because there isn't as much. It's only 1.5 inches of foam board insulation before it hits the metal roof. Ooh, excuse me. So yeah, it definitely... I don't know if it's raining down by you guys, Arlene, but it is definitely raining up here. Yes, it's the rain. I had to switch my sleep schedule around for a few months, but everything's back to normal now, says Evelyn Newman. The best shower I ever had was in Canada under a waterfall in October. No thanks. Need to go to Cafe du Monde. You gotta try it. Yes, and I think you would put that in there, Kat. That was a place that I did add. Because there was some stuff that we wanted to try. We did try.
Anybody wants grass?
Eric and Missy had found a barbecue joint that was pretty good.
No. Okay.
But we didn't get a chance to try some of the other local cuisine as much as I wanted. But everything we ate while we were down there was pretty awesome. So all right, back to your pondering.
Back to my pondering. Clearly, being on the water for us, and we've always known that. We've always said that. That's why we're going to be doing the loop. Like, we are just water people. We love being in and around water. Right now, cruising makes that happen for us. We love seeing the blue water and just, I don't know, there's a thing about it, right? So, with that being said, do we continue to cruise? Knowing that we still have we're still 2 to 3, 4 years away from being able to focus all of our energies on the loop. That's consideration one. Next consideration is those that cruise. Okay, y'all probably are not gonna like this. Maybe some of you guys will be like, woohoo, go, go, go. So on this last one, we upgraded our status to gold. And one of the offers that we got was to triple our VIFP points. There's potential for us to make diamonds before they change the structure of the VIFP program on Carnival. With a 10-day cruise and 1 6 or 7 day cruise. We would have enough points to make diamond, right?
Yeah, diamond, not platinum.
Diamond. Which I don't know, if you're a seasoned cruiser, is that a benefit? Clearly it is, because the more cruises you do. So, looking at the cruises they sent to offer to us, we would have to cruise again in March, and we would have to cruise again in May or August. August. In order to fulfill the point obligation to make diamond status, which would then make everything else even more inexpensive. And the way they're changing the points programs, everything expires in the last day of September, I think is what it is, into October 1st, which makes our next cruise we've already been paying on and scheduled irrelevant and not applicable to the VIFP points. So here's my question to y'all. Should we go ahead and do another 10 and either a 6 or 7? Because we need 16 days at the triple VIFP points to make diamond by their time frame. Should we do it? Yikes.
I don't know. I'm on the fence on it, and honestly, I lean more towards looking at the rewards program. And the deals that we're getting right now have nothing to do with that VIP status. The VIP status is literally only giving us like some free gifts, some priority boarding, and little. We did get our little gold pin, right? Little souvenir stuff. It's some small little trinket things, free bottles of water, which are expensive on the ship, for those big ones. And so it's things like that, the priority boarding and all that. And under their new program, you have to maintain so many points, so that they're incentivizing you to do more cruises throughout the year to maintain your status. Because once you get it, it's only good for 2 years.
Because now it's based on...
And then you have to earn it back up again.
It's based on how many days you cruise. The new program is how much money you
right,
spend.
Jennifer? She says, look at you two cruiseaholics.
Well, that's my point. Or do we just suck it up, buttercup, and only cruise maybe once a year, just for a vacation, and put all that focus into getting ready for the loop?
Well, and
Which
we're
I think
also...
I answered my question. That's a stupid question.
Yeah. I mean, I think that it's a great way to get on the water, because we just love being on the water, no matter what. Like,
And in warm weather.
yeah. Some of the ports, I mean, we have been trying to look at cruises that take you to different ports. Oh, how wonderful.
There's a big black dog in our backyard. Is that the same one or is that a different one?
I think that's that same one, but I don't know. That one's got a collar.
I hope our animals are alright. Get out of here! No, that's a different one. That's a beefier dog. I love animals and stuff, but as long as they don't leave, or as long as they leave our livestock alone, and they're just coming around being friendly, like, I don't mind. But the minute they start going after our livestock and our livelihood.
Yeah, I was way up over past Jenna's, so.
Well, yeah, let's shoot it away.
Who did I see? Oh, Jennifer Ocean Homestead making it in.
Howdy, howdy.
Answer, if you can afford it, do it. That's what Jennifer says. There's Kim Rose coming in, saying hello to everybody. Hello, Kim. Glad you can make it in. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is...
And we can't afford it. People think, you must pay well. No.
Yeah.
We take the cheapest cruises. We take the cheapest rooms.
But it also falls in the line, guys. Like, we talk about it all the time.
Make payments.
And it's one of those, why wait, right? Everyone's always like, oh, I gotta work till I can retire, and then when I retire, I'm gonna do all this stuff. And then you retire, and what happens? Well, you don't have the money, or you don't have the energy, or you physically can't do it, or whatever, right? There's that list of excuses that people, you work your whole life to basically go to the grave. That's kind of that atypical societal way of living life, is you just work. Your kids will never know all the overtime you put in. They'll never care about any of that kind of stuff. So if you have a chance and opportunity to enjoy life, then go do it. Because kind of like we've said, yes, we miss home, and we know that there's a lot of projects that need to be getting done. But at the same time, are we going to end up kind of like we did with our house up north, which we knew that was a temporary situation, but still, it was one of those, we did all this work, we spent 2 years renovating this home, made it a beautiful home, and then never actually even got to enjoy it. We turned around and sold it right away. And that was kind of a big thing with us here, was we were like, hey, we want to build our home, we want to get it up because we want to actually enjoy it, not, oh, a week before we died, we put our last nail in, and then.
I mean, who we fooling? We're always gonna be building something.
Right, we are. But it's the whole fact of, all right, you build. To what point do you just get to enjoy? And we've had that conversation, right? We've talked about that a little bit of how much further. That's where conversations of whether we tear this down or do we build another house, do we just modify this one? Like, that's where a lot of those conversations that we have about the tiny house and about the property itself is, do we want to build it all just so that it's set up for the next generation? Is that what we're really doing? Or do we want to build it because we want to enjoy it? And then at what point do we say, okay, hey, how do we just sit on the porch and enjoy the fruits of our labor? Like, when does that point come on?
When are we done with YouTube?
Yeah.
You know, that's been a lot on our minds too. We love our YouTube family, and we appreciate all the support. I don't think we'll be ever completely done. Maybe pivoted and modified a little bit. But I think our growth has come and gone, and that's okay. I'm fine with it. But we don't put out what the millennials want to see. You know, they don't want to see us.
Oh, so they've got a couple good questions here. So Jennifer's saying, and I'll bring this up because we talked about this a little bit. Then if you get approved for a no interest credit card for 18 months, which is a free loan, do it. And then the next cruise along the East Coast up the Atlantic to Canada. And those are things like we've even looked at, Alaskan cruise. Kath is asking, ever think about a Mediterranean? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Actually,
Barcelona, Italy.
Right. We've looked quite a bit into doing a transatlantic.
Yeah,
going across. We gotta make sure that.
Oh, yeah.
Don't seal it quite yet. Doing the transatlantic to go over to Europe and explore, and we've been trying to kind of piece that together of if we took a cruise over. And then what cruises can we hop on while we're over there? Or do we just stay until we find another cruise that's coming back? Like, how do we want to do that? Because we do want to do some international travel too. And that all makes that challenge, guys, because it's like, okay, well, if we're going to travel, why do we build a homestead? To be able to cook our own food and grow, like, is that building up? And I think a lot of it, for me anyways, looking at it, is like, we're building it up now so that we can enjoy it when we're too old to travel. If that's ever going to be a thing. I don't know if it is or not. I imagine there's going to be a point that travel is going to be, a little more difficult if we're not as mobile. Maybe there's a point that neither one of us can drive or something like that, right?
Well, there always comes a time.
Right. There's always a time when you're not going to be able to do. And so why not build the homestead up to where, hey, we know that, all right, when we're no longer, when all of the restrictions have been implemented to where we just can't leave the property, then it's going to be an easy living. But also we know that by growing our own food, raising our own animals, doing that kind of stuff, saves us a ton of money at the grocery store that allows us to go spend it into a cruise.
Oh, 100%.
Or travel in general. We're not even talking about just doing cruises. I mean, we've looked at the international travel of being able to just fly somewhere, right? And then go explore. Let's go to Scotland.
I want to go
Let's
to
go
Portugal.
to Ireland.
I want to go to Portugal. My concern about going to Portugal is that I'm going to like it so much we're going to want to stay, because that was a consideration before we moved to Arkansas, was moving expat-wise and moving to Portugal. So I don't know.
That'd be cool. And honestly, that'd be something to look into, Jennifer. She's talking about doing that East Coast on Canada. Like, she can't go to Alaska, but doing the East Coast, I don't know that I've seen. I know they've got to have them, right? What ports can they hit up the East Coast of Canada?
New York. Well, we did actually just get a cruise offer for an Alaskan cruise. And this one actually included drinks everywhere on the ship, onboard credit. It's actually a really good deal. And the dates weren't bad. Clearly they got more expensive in the summertime because who wants to go to Alaska, take a cruise in the wintertime, be like Titanic and hit an iceberg.
Well, Paul does. He wants to go swim with the icebergs. Yeah, so it's definitely those things that, there's a port in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and Prince Edward Island. Yeah, and that's all different places that we would love. And it's one of those, I've actually thought about it more, especially on this last cruise where, we had that second week to kind of relax and just talk and look. And of course, the funny thing was, right, there was 2 different ports over the 2 weeks that they did the water taxis. And we were scoping those boats out. We're like, where do they do the auction to sell those? Like, how do we flip that into our loop boat? But then also, if they're handling this water, that means that we can do international travel in doing those crosses in a power boat.
But I have to tell you, before you go any further, I did look into it a little further, and we were looking at $25,000 to $50,000 in international taxes to buy a boat overseas.
Oh, I meant.
Yeah, so.
And I'm sure it's going to be expensive, but that's also something that I think about when we're looking for the loop boat, because no matter what, that's still going to happen. But when we're looking for that boat, is that boat going to be something that we can convert, or does it convert over from being, an inter-U.S. to, can we do international? And how far international? Can we make it down to the Panama Canal? I think we would hug the shoreline a lot more than the cruise ship does. But if it's fair weather, like the times that we went in, say, October or in May, going across the Gulf was pretty flat. It wasn't something that was going to be completely horrible. We've been in rougher waters in Lake Michigan than we did during those times. So looking at that travel time during the year, and then what does that mean? Like we know that part of the loop's going up the intercoastal. Well, what's restricting us from after we've done the loop? Like we go back up that intercoastal, do the East Coast, and just keep going on up and hit Maine, and then go up, into Canada and hit those waterways that are going up there. And even going down, like we had kind of talked, was what's a trip look like of going down the Gulf, but then end up going down to the Panama Canal ourselves to be like, hey, we're looking at all East Coast, right? Southern and East Coast waters. Who's to say we can't go out and hit the West Coast and run up the West Coast and go all the way up, I don't know if we'd go as far as Alaska, but I guess if the weather was right.
I mean, I was kind of all for international travel on our own boat.
But I think a boat that would handle that is out of our budget.
Oh, way out of our budget. So, I don't know.
I can't go into Alaska. Oh, yeah, I read that one. Paul Heyman, no thank you, Jason. That's already crossed off my bucket list. Okay, guys, I'm hungry. Didn't have breakfast yet, so gonna fix something to eat. Have a good day, everyone. All right, thank you, Jeannie. Enjoy your breakfast. There's Bev Crocker. We took a cruise. End of August, first week of September. Do it. I want to back already. Yes. Yeah, I think the fall and the spring are great times because your return weather when you're leaving the States is a little more tolerable, so and it's less chance of storms. Let's see, Jenna, I'm like 4 hours from a port. You can take a side trip up here. Yeah, Jennifer, and like I said, I think that that's something that we do want to look into, and we'll also be going, like, part of the Great Loop. There is the option to go up into some of the river system coming out of New York, or whether you go up into the Canadian side. So I don't know how far you are from that river system of doing it, but that's what we looked at. I mean, not only just the time of being on the water, but then what adventures can we do? That's why we're planning for a year to year and a half.
Of being on the water.
Of being on the water, because it's we're not doing it as a race. There's not a huge rush to be like, okay, hey, I got it done. We're gonna, I'm not setting a world record. We want to go enjoy it and see places that we've not seen before, and experiences that we haven't experienced.
Is Gabby still in the chat?
I would
Because I gotta tell a funny story about Gabby when she was like 14. But I want to tell it if she's in here.
Give me
It's
a moment.
relevant. It goes with the story.
Here we go. She might be listening in. I don't know. Gabby Punky, are you still in here? I need breakfast too, but it isn't making itself. All you gotta do is come over, Patrick. You could have had an omelet.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer says, yeah, but if you do come, bring your tools. I need help doing this. Patrick, I'm about to get a takeout for my tea. I'm by the ocean, like 2-hour drive, but 4 hours the other way to a cruise port. Not seeing anything. There's Big Dreams coming in. Hello, good to see you. I know we're probably just ranting and rambling. It's called
Making
dinner.
a jello cake.
You don't eat tea.
No, but I've drank a lot of tea over the last week. That is for sure.
Yeah, I'm not seeing Gabby respond back here.
See, still blowing noses and such. But I kind of only mildly follow the directions on cake boxes. Kind of when I used to do wedding cakes, if I used a cake mix, I always had modifications to it. Just kind of the way I rolled. But I figured it's Valentine's Day. Why not make a Jello cake? I'd rather have a Jello cake. Well, I guess I'm making it more for. I know Jake likes it too.
I love the Jello cake. It's cake.
You would like it if it was double fudge chocolate with chocolate puff filling and a chocolate fudge frosting with chocolate sprinkles on top.
Okay, you can make that too. We'll test the theory. Right? Isn't that fair? Like, let's test the theory. Will I like the chocolate one better than I like the Jello one? I do like your Jello poke cake. I like it a lot, actually. Mm-hmm. Most of the time, I don't get as much because once the kids know it's here, bye, Felicia.
Yep, pretty much.
Dad better get what he wants in the first clip because after that, I'm fighting sharks. Cat, it's lunchtime here. Yeah, it is here. I mean, we're 12:30, so. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything from. I don't know what that means. Oh, because it was doing the. What are you doing? Stop. I don't know what I'm doing. Just checking.
Checking on what?
Why it looked all bubbly, but then I realized that you probably had to put oil in it.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And I was seeing the difference of the oil separating from the egg yolks.
That's something I make all the time, but.
Bummer, ain't it?
No, I guess I can tell the story. You guys can ask Gabby about it at another time. Remember when we were remodeling the tour bus, the big Eagle?
Okay.
We were getting it, and mind you, Gabby was 14, and a lot of our talk and discussion was around the tour bus.
No, Jennifer, they're not. Jennifer, of course, she loves her even spacing of everything. She said the spices on the stove are not evenly spaced.
That's because I typically don't have spices on the stove.
I love it.
And ran out of room. But so we were talking about our plans and the travel and everything that went along with that, right? And 14-year-old Gabby, I don't even know if she was 14 yet. Yeah, she was 14. She sent a text message to you, and she was like, enough of this, father. You just need to sell the tour bus, sell the Eagle. Remember her sending you that text?
I remember there was something
and just
with it.
Buy a house here and forget about this whole stupid travel stuff. You're like, just give it up, Dad. And we're like, that's pretty brazen for a 14-year-old. But it was just cute and funny.
Yeah. Well, a lot of it too with them was the fact that I was gone for quite a while because I was still in the Marine Corps when they moved back up there. So when I came back, they're like, "No, you can't go again. you know, you've been gone enough. You did, you know, 3 deployments and all the training and all that kind of stuff. All those years I was in the Marine Corps, so I understood it from an aspect from them because they're like, and then when we did say, which they were adults by the time we moved away, and they're like, you know, they still didn't totally understand why we were moving. And I think now they've got a little better understanding, at least from
didn't like it.
yeah, they didn't. Yeah, but they couldn't understand because one, I mean, they're young, right? They're like, hey, how could you ever leave home? How could you ever leave? Blah blah blah. Well, when I've spent more time away from my hometown, you know, as an adult living somewhere else and realizing that there are better places to live than up there, yeah, it was hard to go back for the time that I did, and I was glad I did it. We wouldn't have met, I don't think, that had that not happened. But at the same time, like, I was ready to get out of there. Like, I enjoyed living in a much warmer climate and doing different things. And, you know, the days of family generations staying within the same county for multiple generations
We're trying to
is getting less and less. But our idea is, like, changing that a little bit, too, with the whole family compound. Is maybe we can restart that multi-generation within the same county or within the same property and land,
It's
right?
wishful thinking because we have 7 completely different kids
Yeah.
that are never going to completely agree, and so.
But there's bound determined to be 1 or 2 of them that are going to just keep this place going and
you know what? And
multi-generational.
that's
Maybe.
gonna be
I don't know.
I mean, can you put clauses in your wills that if anyone contests it, they're out? That's what I would do. Like, these are our wishes. If you want to contest it, you don't get any.
Oh, Jennifer said it'll be okay. She's going to just keep her eyes on the perfectly centered light above the sink. I was pretty adamant about... I mean, it looks off now because the window's partly open, but it is centered. It's good. I was thinking about you when I did it. I just made sugar-free... Auntie Ann says, I just made sugar-free orange Jell-O. Only 1 cup hot water. Mixed with 2 cups vanilla Greek yogurt. It tastes like cheesecake.
Yum.
I had to read it twice because when it said vanilla, I thought she meant she was making Jell-O shots because I thought vanilla was vodka, but my brain hadn't caught up with my eyeballs. Just started my pizza dough. It's on its hour rest, making heart-shaped pizza for Valentine's Day.
Aww.
That is for the Jobs.
Nice.
And that sounds good, Auntie Ann. Yes, it does. Yes, yes, you can. My grandmother did. Answering your question of...
What's that? You didn't hear that?
No. Patrick said yes, you can actually put, and I think there is. I think however you write up your clause or will or whatever. I mean, that's the whole point, right? It's how you want. You write it up, and as long as it's enforced, right? But that's the whole point of the will and trusts and all those types of things. Is, hey, I want this to happen with my land, and anybody else that contests it, well, hey, guess what? Now you're out.
Yeah, now you're out. You don't like it? Tough. That's kind of like, I don't know. Like, I just think that's, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to our project. So we are going to be starting on our garage and the farmstead. And I know I had a couple questions, and well, a couple different times about my pottery. And yes, I would love to offer my pottery in the farm stand, but I think that's only going to become something once I can get a wheel and a small kiln. I don't need like a massive kiln, and I've been looking, and I don't think it's too far off, but it's definitely not yet. So I wanted to put that out there, that it is coming, just not yet.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other twofold. We talked about it a little bit. I don't know how much, but the whole idea with that garage of doing the lean-to, coming off it to be the farm stand, right? But the idea is it eventually becoming maybe like a little country store shop kind of deal. At that point, we may have to look into like business LLC type stuff.
Yeah, probably.
But that's something that, you know, with Chloe being around now, and she likes to do a lot of that stuff, that's something that the two of them can work together.
And I do miss, I miss decorating. I miss decorating. I miss decorating cakes. I don't know, anything creative is what I love. And actually, I'm really jonesing to get back to tattooing. I miss that creative outlet where I can just zone out for hours and, you know, not worry about anything except for the art that I'm creating. Someone's blowing up our phones.
It's Jenna. She's wanting to let Maya out, and I said, not right now, because she'll end up coming down and so yeah, everyone talking about how they did that with having the will and having an ironclad and all that kind of stuff. Patrick wanted to know garage before the new cabin. Yes, that garage is actually the very next thing. Like it's a combo. Well, it's a trifecta.
Yeah.
Right. We have Jenna's. That we'll start working on soon. She said she's about ready to pull the trigger on getting some drywall up, and she's just kind of holding off. We talked about this a little bit on Thursday on the live. She was holding off a little bit right now because they're going to be bringing electric in. With Jake and Chloe bringing the house trailer in, we've got an area prepped and all that to get a power pole up there. So to make the rest of the building and everything easier in Jenna's, I think she's kind of waiting so that she can help offset some of the cost for bringing the power up there, because they're both households up there are going to benefit from that power. And the garage, so the garage is a twofold, and right now I kind of bumped up priority only because we have the e-bikes that we love, and our last Harbor Freight shed totally collapsed. And luckily the canvas is still solid and it's protecting the bikes, but it's on top of the bikes. And there's no bringing that one back. So I'm not even touching it. The only thing that I've done so far was we pulled that one deep freeze that took a crap on us. I did pull that out of there, but other than that, everything else, I'm like, it is what it is. I'm not even messing with it until we can get a dry storage building put up. And that's where that garage is going to come in. And that's why more than likely that garage is just going to be a wooden platform floor, because it is only for storage. And it's going to allow us to bring...
And if the farm stand goes well and it turns into a farm store, by then we'll have the shop though.
And we get to empty the storage unit.
Yes. And I don't know, my ideas for like a farm store would include also like antique stuff. But I love to quilt. Y'all have never even seen me quilt or anything I've done because, hello, we're building things.
Will there be apple moonshine at this farm stand? Asking for everyone within driving distance.
There might be.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if it got to more than just a farm stand, then we have to do a lot more of the research into
whether or not we're zoned.
Yeah, like then we turn into a commercial zoning business. Like, how does that work when it's on private property? And there'll be a lot of things that we have to look into. With us doing it as just a farm stand, where it's not going to make a ton of income. Like, we're not looking at putting it up to become millionaires by any means.
Yeah, I fall underneath just the Arkansas cottage laws. So anything I make with my own two hands, crafts, food.
It's to make cruise money. That's what it is. It's casino cruise money. That's really going to be the big, but then selling maybe some eggs and stuff like that, offset the fee, cost of the feed.
Laser engraver stuff.
Right. Stuff that we have here. I've actually even been thinking a little bit, and I don't know much about it, but I'm like, man, if I could get my son-in-law down here, which now that they have their own house with a garage, I don't know if my daughter's going to be up for it, because he's a rock hound, a really big rock hound, and he knows a lot about it. And matter of fact, last time that they were here, he took 5-gallon buckets of rocks from here, because he's like, these are amazing, and they're just laying in your yard. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, I have to go to rock shows to buy some of these. And I'm like, there's 17 acres of it. But, you stop at shops all the time, and they have all these rocks, and they're making money off rocks.
Even our grandkids, when Zach, the last time they came down, they'd stopped somewhere, a Buc-ee's maybe or something, and all the kids bought rocks.
Oh, yeah, because they were like the polished rocks. So I'm like, man, do I get a rock tumbler and just start collecting up But I don't know enough about rocks to say, hey, what's going to be a good one? Like, I've been seeing videos, funny enough, that'll pop up on, like, the Facebook, and it's like, they're getting these geodes where it looks just like a rock, and somehow they know what one's going to have it or not, right? And they have a contraption that cracks it, and then you open it up, and it's all these, like, crystals in it. It's super cool. I know nothing about it. I think it's awesome. but I don't know enough. Like, I might be sitting on a rock gold mine as far as we know, and unless someone that's a rockologist, is that a rockologist, geologist, I don't know, a rock person.
Yeah.
I think distilling alcohol in Arkansas is illegal. Double check. There's actually.
I'm making you a little something, something.
Look at that. I know it was mine. Why? 'Cause she's got chocolate chips. There is a roundabout, right, of distilling, and you can say it's for something. I don't know. There's probably some, like, there's a loophole everywhere, right? That's why there's politicians. Just call it a special recipe, apple juice, and put a disclaimer: contents may be fermented.
That's true.
Jason's rock stand coming soon. No refunds, right? A geologist. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, right? A geologist. I would be kind of curious. Like we've talked with Ryan and Jess because Ryan actually has some gold painting equipment from adventures that they did up in Wisconsin, and wanting to go down by the creek and seeing if I don't think it would be enough to be significant to say, hey, I'm not going on the Gold Rush show by any means, but would it be cool to find a few flakes and just say, hey, I found this, here, we put it in a little container and throw it on the shelf. And I don't know.
Yeah.
The things that make you go, on a rainy day where you can't go outside and do anything, so you put a live on YouTube and talk to all these amazing people. How many still in here? 73 people want to listen to us
cocoa powder from Costamaya.
Cacao powder. Straight from the cacao.
But I gotta bloom it.
There's Philip Ryder.
If you use cocoa powder, did y'all know you're supposed to bloom it like a yeast? I didn't know that. But yeah.
I didn't know it.
Yeah, you gotta bloom it.
Lori Larkin says, I just collect any rock that I think is cool. My yard is full of them. We also get rid of a ton a few years back. Yeah. And I mean, that's us. Like, we've got some that are around here that we're just like, hey, this is really cool. Look at this. I don't know what kind it is or what. It looks cool, right? That's why most of the time you go somewhere, you just pick a rock up, put it in your pocket. And what do you? My sniffing the greatest.
Mine isn't either. That's why I was really surprised that I smelled it. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I'm just throwing a bunch of ingredients together, and I've been dying to use my Costamaya cocoa powder. And it wasn't bad. I paid like $12 US dollars.
What's going on, Sal's Camper Life? Good to see you, Sal. Of course, Philip Ryder coming in. We had him as a guest on the Ridge the other day. It was like back-to-back guests. We almost had guests last night, but we both, we couldn't. I know Ryan and Jess were itching to go with them, but with Ryan...
well, then Dawn over at our farm said they wanted to come over, and I'm like, I can't.
That's what I was talking about originally. It was Dawn and Big D wanted to come, and we were looking forward to it because we're like, yeah, we can play some cards, we can hang out. And we just both kind of looked at each other and was like, it's everything we have to keep our eyes open right now. And we loved having Philip stop by. That was awesome. Ricky Smith stopped by because he had some errands in town. Always love having the visitors, but when we're not feeling the greatest, like, we almost feel bad because we can't really like host the way that we like to host. So yeah, we had to kind of put it off of seeing Ryan and Jess and
we'll put off seeing everyone else.
Dawn, but yeah, trying to keep our distance.
I didn't even go out when Philip was here, but maybe once or twice to grab some things.
Yeah, and I said, well, I went out with him, but we went and just hung in the studio so that we were kind of not around too much to spread those germs.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know. What are you making? What
I
is
was
that
gonna
for?
make like a chocolate syrup to like swirl in with your little chocolate thingy I'm making you here. I don't know what I'm doing. I just literally did you nice. I heard it come out of my mouth when I said I have no idea what I'm making.
I mean, I'm not mad at it. It looks delicious.
I just needed a sugar aspect.
I'm like that with fresh ground cloves. when I made it the other day. It smells amazing, says Jennifer. Yeah. So,
It's in there.
at least you know where it's supposed to be going. I have no idea. I know where it's gonna go. Right there. I actually did have a little shocker. We didn't talk about this. So before we went on the cruise, I went in and had my annual VA appointment, just to verify everything's good. And it was. All my numbers came back really well. I think the only thing that they added was, B12. Had to go on some B12 supplements, so not a big deal. They didn't try to give me any crazy wild medication. Of course, once again, as every trip I take to my local VA clinic is, it was a different doctor, a new doctor this time, but he was pretty cool about the thing that, like, he didn't act like it was the first time I was coming in. He had actually prepared, which was...
He didn't push psychotic medications
Right.
for schizophrenia, like the last one.
But yeah, and so that was really nice, and to be able to go on there and do that. I did get my chiropractor approved again, so I get to go to that on Wednesday. And for anybody that deals with the VA, knowing that getting chiropractic care to the VA is pretty dang difficult. I mean, I've been fighting for the last 3 years with this VA clinic to get in. I was approved in Michigan, but this one wanted to go through the whole rigmarole again, so I did that. And so I'm hoping this chiropractor, because I did go to one last year, or this past year, and I didn't care for him much. His methods were not a traditional method, and I understand probably why, and for some people it probably works, but for me it actually made things worse. So it'll be
Put your
nice
finger under there.
to get into a... Okay, I'm in. Do I just drink that straight from the bowl?
No,
Oh.
I wasn't sure what I was doing, but blooming that cocoa powder. Wow.
See, Phillips want to know what's Tara making? Something chocolate, Philip. I have no idea. She
So,
doesn't even know.
I'm making
We got some.
I'm making a Jell-O poke cake. My kids grew up on it. My kids love it. And so that's what this is. And then, of course, since I know my husband loves anything with chocolate, I needed to have someplace else for the batter, so I put it into my little muffin pans.
Chocolate syrup for Jason.
Oh yeah, this is straight from Costa Maya. Like, the cocoa is so rich. And
Well, there's Shiloh Acres popping in. Sorry, she said she couldn't
Hi.
stay long, so I wanted to say hi and tell everybody, Emily, and
I don't really know what
the
I'm
whole
making.
fam hello up there.
I'm making something with chocolate in it, with some chocolate chips. And then I was gonna cover this and then like swirl it. And I don't know. I guess we'll see. And then Jason can be the judge.
They got to see what you're doing here. I tilted it a little
Is that broke somewhere that it's leaking? Do I need to put it in? Because why is this
Yeah.
cocoa?
It's definitely.
Oh.
Oh, it's coming out the bottom right there.
Oh. Okay. That's it. We don't want that to happen. Yeah, I don't know, but I've been just really wanting to make something with my cocoa from Costa Maya, which is Mexico, right?
Sure. I don't know.
Oh wow.
Down there somewhere.
It's better than being bad.
Hey Jason, I'm thinking of getting a kayak real bad. Oh, from Philip. Oh, we love our kayaking. So Jennifer wants to know, do you have any exclusive cruise fashions? Bring back the curly hair just for cruising, LOL. We don't, like they do on the cruises, right? They have pretty much a theme every day, every night.
We don't really follow.
And we don't, I don't know. Not our cup of tea. I know that they did on the first week of the cruise, there was quite a few of them that participated in the 80s night, the glow and rock party that they do.
And then the roper lady. Someone organized from Three's Company.
Oh, they were trying to be
Miss-
Mrs. Roper.
Mrs. Roper, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean they have some fun cool stuff. We basically wear, I mean about the only thing is I don't take overalls because, well, they're not needed when you're going down there.
I wear a lot of dresses. I always have like leggings or something underneath, but
Wait, Patrick said, wait, the doctor said Jason needed mental drugs? Shit, he seems like the most sane amongst all of us. Well, that was the weird thing, was he wasn't prescribing it to me for a mental health issue at all. It was supposedly, according to their drug statistics, right?
dual purpose.
Which is the guy that brings them free lunch every day from a certain pharmaceutical company, and so they're going to try to push that one. It had a secondary benefit of pain management, which truly, obviously, Tara being the nurse and knowing where to dig into medical journals, was reading. But the whole thing was
because I was a psych nurse once.
It just reprograms your brain, like rewires your brain to where you're thinking you don't hurt, and it doesn't actually alleviate any of the pain. But anyways, any of those meds like that, like they tried that with another one too, was
gabapentin.
They wanted to give it to me because of the extra.
But this particular one is.
Oh yeah, Philip, I can smell it.
This particular one was actually an antipsychotic used to treat schizophrenia. Oh, but could be used for pain.
Ooh, Paul says I should take some of that chocolate to dip you in for Valentine's night.
Oh gosh, that's so good.
Brandy Mayfield coming in. Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you for stopping in.
I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I kind of have high hopes.
Auntie Ann says, for a minute there, I thought you was putting chocolate in a Jell-O poke cake.
No, I just know my husband likes his chocolate.
I can see the news next week. Local veteran dies from chocolate overdose.
Right?
If that's the way to go, that's the way I'd want to go. You know what I need? I took my meds, but the other downside to not being able to be as active fighting this cold and stuff is we're not as mobile either, and I'm feeling it in my back. And actually yesterday when I went out and did chores, I'd been over doing chicken feed, and I almost didn't get back up, and I was like, nope.
Well, I feel it too, and I think it's honestly, the lazier we are, the worse we feel. And I don't want to say lazy because I've slept. I was so sick. So I don't know if you call that lazy or what, but it was awful. And anytime we have known historically in the past, call it what you will, when we're lazy, we throw our backs out. Plain and simple.
Well, yeah, because that's part of one of my conditions is one of those, like, I've got to constantly move, change positions. Like, I could only sit for so long. I can only lay down for so long. I can only stand. Like, it was one of those, it's really annoying, but it also purposely keeps me more active. And that actually goes back. I was going to make that point early on in the live, was talking about the building things for when we get older, because as we age, we know we need to stay more active. The more active we are, the less pain I'm in. Both of us, really. So it's one of those that it's been a major health benefit. We both have, maintain and lose weight better when we're more active. We eat better, we have more energy, like all those types of things. But it also, I don't have as many back spasms and issues that end up putting me laid up in bed, which actually makes the problem worse. Like, yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to vacuum
wow, I
seal
turn
this.
around and Tara's cut Jason off at the knees. Sal's asking Annie and Paul is very good at being bad. I don't think it's bad, Paul. Just saying what's on your mind, brother. Did I see? Oh, yeah, right there. Happy Valentine's Day to Atasha Lynn.
Well, hello. I'm going to have to vacuum seal this later because I'd have to move you guys to get to my vacuum sealer. So,
Just cap it.
yeah. Well, my lids are also in that cabinet.
So there's Shira Stories. Says hi from the great state of Louisiana, just
We just
north.
came through there.
Yeah, they live just north of New Orleans, 60 miles. Enjoy your programs. Well, thank you. Yeah, we were just through there actually.
Actually, I think I can reach it. Hold on. Ha!
You get that one. Can you get your? Is it wide mouth or?
Yeah. I might have one in here.
Who knows? Can you use packing? Can you packing tape up the whole Tara? We probably could have taped it up, but she has that jar that we're gonna put it in, and then this jar sealer that actually vacuum seals jars. We do that with a lot of our dried herbs and stuff that she uses more often, because if you put them in the Mylar bags, once you open it, then you got to go through the whole process of trying to vacuum seal and whatnot. So this little contraption actually goes with a canning jar lid on it, and then it pulls all the vacuum out of it, and it makes everything last longer anyway. So
and you need it for the freeze dryer anyway. So
I think Auntie Anne's
I just
had to
didn't
give
realize
me
I
more
had
timeouts than anyone else. Yeah. Right, Patrick? Paul just needs the right woman to spank him. Give him a whooping.
Come on.
Don't you threaten me with a good time, Patrick. Where'd you hide her?
So one little tip, guys, if you do vacuum seal and then you've got anything like powdery, kind of put a cupcake holder. He's already dipping into that.
Will you just put it in front of me?
It's easier to do when there's actually a bunch in there.
That is delicious.
I know.
There's Sean and Kelly over at Let's Trade Paint. Happy Valentine's Day to
It keeps it
you
from,
all.
like, when you break the seal, from it going and popping up. So. That's it. She's a going. Gee, what should I do with this leftover chocolate syrup I just
I
made?
shouldn't eat it all, I know that. Pretty rich.
Is it? Well, it's straight cocoa.
I know, it's delicious. It makes me wish I had ice cream and I put it over ice cream.
I ain't in the mood to make ice cream, my love.
Yeah, no.
Sorry.
I don't know, did I say hi to Tamara and David over there? I don't think I missed you, but if I did, glad to see y'all and happy Valentine's Day. That's cool. We got another New Orleans in here. So, and voila.
Yep. Except, I don't know, I might have a white mouth one. Aha! I do. Aha! Nice.
Oh, for doing the other one, yeah.
Yeah.
What? Oh, there's Ray Castillo coming in. Hello. Hello, Jason and Tara. Happy Valentine's Day to you too. Went to the cemetery and spent some time with my Valentine this morning.
Aww.
That's awesome. I'm glad you got that time with her. I know she'll never be forgotten, Ray, so I don't look forward to a day that either one of us have to be without each other.
No.
Not going to be a good time. So what Auntie Ann said, be honest, Paul, most of those was for fun on my part, then because of you was really bad. Paul's like, shh, Ann, it was fun for us both. And we had everyone else in the chat and channel laughing with us. Of course, it's always a great time. I mean, that's what we love about doing stuff like this, especially when we're not on a time limit, is to come in and then, you know, we're amongst friends. Everything's available.
Yeah,
and
it's raining. What are we gonna do? I mean, at least here I can like bake and do
Ooh,
things.
Patrick says get some peanut butter and dip it in the chocolate.
I thought about that. I thought about adding some peanut butter to that, but I think if I did a peanut butter, then I think it needs to be after they're baked, and then I can infill, like maybe whip out more of a peanut butter whip and go from there. Okay. So now I know it's just gonna stay safe in here.
Boy, I can tell you going outside is going to involve muck boots.
And I'm gonna have to go outside because I've got to go check the freeze dryer. So you're gonna have to talk to the good people.
There's Ace coming in. Howdy, my little Valentines and Sir Paul. Chocolate night with Jason. That's on your mind, he said. I love y'all. Thanks, Ace. Appreciate you. Love you too. Glad you can make it in. You guys getting rain down there? We're getting it up here, that's for sure.
Yeah. So I paid for this. It's mine, but I love it. But this is what it is. It was just a little bitty cost on Amazon.
I'm going to say the name is Elise, But hello, you two lovely people. Hope
Hi.
you have a blessed Valentine's Day. Well, thank you. I hope you do too.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go check the freeze dryer real quick to see if we need extra.
You're leaving me unsupervised? Woohoo! Let the shenanigans begin!
I don't even know who to leave in charge. I'm gonna have to say Annie in.
Oh,
Because
good
if I
luck.
leave Patrick in charge, we're in trouble. If I leave Paul in charge, we're in trouble.
That's a guaranteed good time. Oh my gosh, can you imagine me, Patrick, and Paul? Oh.
I don't know about that.
Oh man.
And if
Lock up your liquor cabinet. We're
don't
getting
use
crazy.
The rest of that. So,
Use the rest of it.
no. All right, I'm gonna.
I bet I could just pour it straight in my mouth.
I bet he could. I should have let him do it before I added the sugar.
Has anyone been watching the Olympics? I've seen some clips of it. Not actually. I mean, we don't have regular TV. I don't know where it's streaming at, but I've seen some stuff through Facebook videos, stuff they share on there.
Oh, that was general.
Not been like following it heavy. I remember years past they did. It was always kind of fun watching the different sports and seeing people that are way more talented than I am do things. Been seeing a lot with those ski jumpers, right? The long where they like soar forever, and I try to imagine like could I ever do something like that, and then I realized that crashing at the bottom, which is what I would normally do, because I've snow skied. Definitely found out early on when I was a kid that moguls are not my thing. I would never be a mogul skier. But then seeing that long jump stuff, and I definitely wasn't doing any of the tricks. But I was like, man, maybe I could do that long jump thing. And then I watch how far they go and like how far they're off the ground before they have to hit. And then I remember the times I wrecked when I was already on the ground. And I figured that was probably not a good plan. It was not going to be in my Olympic goal list. Ace says, no, the rain's on the way. Okay, gotta go. Nice catching up with you. All right, Lori, glad you could come in. I have a vacuum sealer for jars that hooks to my food saver, and it works great. Oh, what is Tim sending me something? I think he probably found those beers. They actually have a beer. Seen it in a couple different places. I think that actually says cold snack on it. I've heard they're pretty good. I haven't tried one yet. I need to find a place that sells them. I got you, Tara. Oh, okay, at the end. Yeah, keep us in line. Yes, we tried the one that goes on the vacuum saver, and I don't know if we didn't have the right attachment. It just, because you had to have the special lid or something, I don't know. Something wasn't working right with it, and then she found that one on Amazon, and it works so much easier, and then we don't have to bust out the big old vacuum sealer and stuff, so works really good. Paul says, I didn't even know the Olympics were on. There's Deborah Spicer. Happy Valentine's Day. I wish, but no rain here in Iowa. I know we actually need this rain, even though it keeps us strapped in, but it has been dry as a popcorn fart around this place. Just about everywhere right before we left was put on a burn ban. So be interested in our lake, guys. Holy moly. The lake they have by here is, I've never seen it that far down. I know they had opened it up because we went from almost breaching and being at max capacity at the dams at both lakes by us down to they barely got any water in them. And there's Kelly. We said hi to Sean, but there's Kelly, Rebel at Heart. Happy Valentine's Day to you too, sweetheart. Appreciate you guys coming on and listening to our ramble. Jennifer reminded everybody, thank you, about hitting that like button and thumbs up and making sure. We actually had the same thing happen the other day. There was a couple channels that we knew we were subscribed to, but we were like, how come we haven't seen anything going on with them in a while? And I typed the name in, and sure enough, we had been unsubscribed. So it does it to everybody, not just y'all. There you go, Paul. Ace wants to know, you want to be her Valentine? Happy, I think I did see something about that. A happy birthday to Kelly. Cuddly by popcorn has never farted. Well, it's awful dry when it does. I can tell you that much. I don't even remember where. I think it was one of my grandpas that said that the one day, and I'm like, what did you just say? Like, if y'all traveled I-55, you were 20 miles from me in French Louisiana, right in from the toe of the boat. Yes, we did go up 55, so we would have been right there. Kind of a bummer. We ran a little bit of a tight time, like us coming back. I know there was a couple of subscribers that had mentioned maybe swinging by and seeing them, and we're like, yeah, maybe we can do that, make a little road trip out of it and visit some folks, but with neither one of us feeling the greatest and not wanting to spread the sickness around, because, well, that's just not fair, right? I love to say sharing is caring, but not when it's sickness. But we do talk about that a lot, like when we do go to travel, is trying to see if we're out just to travel, and it's not like a specific mission timeline where we've got to be there by a certain time. How fun would it be just to be like, hey, we're heading from here to here. Who's in that route, and can we veer off? Within a reasonable distance. I don't want to go several hours necessarily, but some of them we may. You never know. I won't ever rule it out. Is your cat whining? I don't think he is. You probably heard the jar thing, Philip. I don't even know where he's at right now. Not bugging me. That's the best part of it. We're right in the toe of the boot. My phone misspelled. Oh, got you. Oh, because it said toe of the boat. Yeah, autocorrect. It's always awesome when you're trying to say one thing and it says something else, especially when you're trying to do voice. I tried doing voice chat a few times just to see if it was easier, and it never put the right things in there. It was very aggravating. But I know a lot of people make it work really well. And I'm glad. Maybe you got to get your voice to chat trained to your weird. Of course, I come up with crazy words half the time. So it's like, what? That's not even a word. I'm like, sure it is. I said it. It's got to be a word. It's my rule anyways. But maybe, so Shira, maybe that's something, because we'll be coming back down in November, doing another cruise, and hopefully if we don't get sick, maybe that's something we can get together outside of New Orleans or somewhere. We can find a spot, maybe get some lunch or dinner, because we'll more than likely do the same we did on this last trip, is we'll go down the day before. Always want to be careful and make sure we're there ahead of time and stay the night in a hotel. The one we stayed at definitely wasn't by any means some 5-star ritzy hotel. The room was nice. They were big enough rooms. The bed was nice. It was clean. But we got what we could pay for. We got what we paid for in that room. So
sorry, I got distracted from my
go.
Seeds. I gotta show you guys. Hold on.
Cass says, tell Tara to enjoy Valentine's Day. Behave all. Have a good one. All right, Kath. Appreciate you. And I'd say you behave, but that's not very fun. What you gonna eat? Well, we're gonna have some cake. I know that. And
I gotta show them.
oh, are you ready? What is it?
One of my seed snails, guys. Look at this.
Hey, don't be getting no dirt in my chocolate.
I started looking at my plants and taking care of them. This is calendula. And look, the roots are coming out the bottom of the seed snail. So these are ready to up pot. And that's how, look, that means the roots are like that deep. Look how amazing and how many there are in there. I'm so super stoked.
Gary, that might be why I ended up getting sick, right? I haven't been eating many crayons. My wife keeps telling me to stop doing it. I don't know why. That just seems ridiculous.
Oh, look at this, guys.
That is pretty awesome. The seed snails definitely are for a win, guys.
Yeah, these are ready to up pot.
And it allows you to get your plants a little bit taller than what you normally would, because you have all of this dirt.
And they're supporting themselves and everything, but this is my calendula.
Ace says they are beautiful.
Yeah.
So what's calendula used for?
So I'll be drying a lot of it to use in my salves and lotions and potions and all this stuff.
Lotions and potions.
Yeah, it has a lot of beneficial properties to it for your skin, for everything. You can do calendula teas. What?
Ace was wondering, I don't remember, there's some food. Jake and them said that they had dinner covered, so they come down and put something in the crock pot.
So I was doing like steak sandwiches with au jus sauce and some pepperoncinis and peppercorns, and it's not hot, babe. It's for flavor.
Oh, Philip said, yeah, he noticed the plants when he visited. That's really cool, yeah. Yeah, actually, we've got quite a bit started over there. We only lost, some tomatoes, I think, the tomato plants, while we were gone.
But it's not too late to start more, so
Right.
I will be starting more. And that's kind of...
Calendula moonshine.
I mean, kind of contradictory.
I think Jennifer likes moonshine. I'm just saying.
I need to be back in the greenhouse, or at least with the seeding and stuff. So I've been waiting to feel better, and that's probably the part that sucked the most, was being sick during the nicest days and knowing that I was going to start feeling better and ready to do things when it's like this.
Yeah.
But at least in the greenhouse, it's...
Well, and there's a part of it too that it's forcing us, even though we're starting to feel better, and we're not 100%, but we're feeling good enough to be able to go do things. But it might be too soon. Kind of that, like, hey, I started feeling better, so you just start getting right back into it, and then you end up back worse than when you started. So,
Yep. Right back to this.
Tara likes her vino.
My what?
Vino, isn't that like the wine?
Oh, the wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if I go back keto, wine is no longer. So that'll be a thing. Ugh. And the freeze dryer is still running, so.
Yeah, I didn't do the special settings on it this time, or the manual settings or whatever. I just hit start. I couldn't remember what our timeline was supposed to look like, because you can go in and manually set it up and it'll actually run a little quicker. And I didn't do that this round. I just said, hey, go. We are, though, I think, when the rain is done. So we lost that one stand-up freezer, but...
Speaking of which, there's still more chicken in there. I need to... It's just now thawing out. So
Jake and Chloe had actually bought another stand-up freezer for when they get the house here. And it's in their storage unit, and they're like, well, hey, in the meantime, because, well, they could use it too, should we bring it over and throw it in the studio? And he's like, absolutely. So, Tamara says, Terry, you sound awesome from the other day, both of you, but definitely Terry. Yeah, she's actually looking a lot better today, too. I mean, the last several days, it's just been like,
put my contacts
death warmed over. Like,
gee, thanks.
well, you could just see the misery, because,
yeah,
I mean, we
was-
both were miserable. Like, when you
everything
feel
I
it
had to do
inside,
right
you can only
the
hold
other
so
night.
much to try to fake it, and she couldn't even fake it. But then to be able to talk and have conversations, so.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure that I would have never taken antibiotics if my nursing wisdom wouldn't have told me there's more going on. And I'm glad that I did. So, I'm glad that we had them also to do.
Right. Oh yeah, okay. I jumped out of there because I had a message. What did I have? Oh.
So if you missed it earlier, I had picked up a bunch of these. Actually, no. We'd gone through that batch we got at UGO in Tennessee. These actually came from Freedom Weekend. So after Freedom Weekend, we stuck around to help Tim clean up everything. And he is still off grid there, right? And doesn't have well, he does now.
Yeah.
He's working on it.
Definitely, Paul. He
But-
says I'm lucky. I found a woman that can't fake it.
But they had, we had tons of leftover stuff, and he's like, it's all gonna go back.
That one needs to go now. Oh wait, I don't have all the. Where's the doodads?
The little risers.
Yeah, did I take them out?
Um,
Ooh, I think they are out because I. All right, I'm gonna have to run over and get them. Oh.
he said they were just gonna go bad. So I actually have all these buns that we had frozen. Well, now that we don't have a freezer, and that freezer went kaput. Yeah, because I normally make my own potato patties and stuff, but they were just gonna go to waste. And so I'm like, well, we'll take them. And now that we don't have the freezer space, I'm just gonna freeze dry them. And that way, I'll be able to package them in Mylar with an oxygen absorber and whatnot. And we'll have ready-made all I'm gonna have to do is rehydrate them and then we can fry them up.
What
But
did they say?
I think I'm out of trays, aren't I, baby?
Well, there's more out there. Out in the,
Empties?
Yeah.
So yeah, we have the freeze dryer going right now. Oh, that's got lids on them. Yeah, I had to
It
clear
still
an
works.
area out just for that. But having the freeze dryer and being able to like really start mass producing meals and foods and stuff, I have to do it because if I don't, then the food's just going to go to waste. But having it available to us is great, honestly. I need some fresh coffee now that it's past my
and
half hour.
I imagine you said it already, but the benefit of being able to freeze dry means that we don't have to provide refrigeration or anything like that. So if we do have issues where a freezer goes down or we lose power for a while or something, it doesn't affect the freeze dried food as long as we have
No, but I had to make
water to
room
rehydrate it.
because it does save energy pre-freezing the trays, so that you don't have to worry too much about that. Taking up extra cost because they do run a while. Like right now, the batches that I have in there now are all like chicken meals, chicken breast I sliced up to freeze dry, anything chicken because I don't want to lose our meat. And so we were able to save and salvage all that, but it's already running on 20 hours right now. So, gosh, that's so good. Thank you, Patrick. So clearly I have to do something with these buns. Croutons it's gonna be. So that's gonna be the next project here. And I think our cakes are far enough along I could probably work on that.
Oh, Philip, want to know, have you tried the sipping cream like David?
Unfortunately I have.
I think with David's about the only time. Well, no, there's.
Well, Jess bought me some for my birthday last year.
Didn't somebody else who came and visited? Was that when who came and they brought, I don't know, 1 or 2 jars of it? Was that around your birthday time or something? It seemed like we had a bonfire and like somebody had come and they brought sipping cream.
We love having guests.
Was that when Tom and Tanya came? Didn't they bring some with them?
No, they brought some up to the river camp. When they came
Was
to
it river camp?
Yes.
Yeah. You left a lot of water on.
Well, somebody hasn't redone my LP, and since I'm out of hot water, I can't. Yeah.
It's raining. I can't get wet. Croutons. Terra extra buns.
Well, I don't want them to go to waste, and they've already frozen and thawed once, so croutons it is. Normally, I make all of the croutons with my own sourdough, but I can't let food go to waste. You know that talk that we had earlier, right? Where I'm like, it's ingrained in my brain.
Yeah.
I can't let food go to waste.
The purse pasta.
I really, really was hoping to be able to eat that because it was so good. And unfortunately, I
Right?
ended
See,
up
Paul's
having to throw
with
it
me.
out. What?
Said I can't go out and get wet. I'll melt.
Right. But one of the things that I did find, actually on our very, very first cruise,
Ooh, breadcrumbs. You can make them into breadcrumbs too. Which you will do,
Yeah.
right? The nice thing with it being croutons is if we need breadcrumbs from something, you just
I
take
just
the
crunch them
croutons
up.
and crush them up.
and there's always breadcrumbs left after making croutons on the cookie sheet. So I always have a separate jar I keep down there of just the breadcrumbs left over from making croutons. But I found that like if you go to the marketplace Lido Deck buffets in the mornings, they have a tray of lunch meats and salamis and a tray of cheeses. And so after we have our breakfast, and it's only at breakfast time that they do that, I will go and I'll grab a plateful. And that's why I take Ziploc baggies on the cruises with me. Because for a snack, you guys know I love my little wraps. I don't get pickles or anything, but I load up on cheeses and lunch meats. Still not the best, but better than a lot of the food. I think that was the difference between week 1 and 2. Is week one, we didn't know we were going to be staying a second week until later on in the cruise. So it was just a eat fest, right? It's whatever you can shove in because it's just so good and everything. And then the second week, you're feeling the sluggishness of the previous week's choices. And so I found myself just naturally gravitating more towards the healthier meals and the foods. I think we only ate in the MDR like once, maybe twice, which is your main dining room, where we actually ate off the menu. Breakfast times, I was going more towards just either a straight scrambled egg and a little meat choices. They had cottage cheese, they had yogurts. So I really found myself just gravitating towards that. Lunches and suppers, I started with a salad, tons of different vegetables. I was just kind of over the yuck. And it didn't mean I didn't eat it because y'all know my favorite food to eat at 10 o'clock at night is pizza. So.
I just ran hot water in the bathroom and it did just fine.
What?
You just gotta let it.
You know, I got all these dishes sitting here I could have been taken care of. I'm sorry, baby. There is hot water.
See?
I stand corrected.
Chances float away. That's probably.
No, it went away again.
Well, it's gotta clear through the lines.
It never came into the lines.
It will. You gotta remember that sink is the furthest point away from the hot water heater.
I didn't hear any beeps.
Or Paul says, yeah, gotta remember when a girl says LMBO means laughing my butt off. When a male says it, laughing my bullocks off.
Babe, I don't think I was wrong. There's no hot water here.
Yeah, right, Philip. Hurts float. We're good.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Did Daryl pop in? Is he still? Somebody said not my daddy.
Nope.
We can see the steam.
No, there isn't. It's cold. See, come here, come here.
Well, shit. Oh.
I don't know what to comment. Yeah, Paul, there was no steam. My hands are like ice cold.
Turn the hot water on. How do I know if it's firing if you don't have it on?
I think in the main house, I love having the on-demand, but I think I want a traditional water heater under the sink.
All right, turn it off. That time it dinged. I washed my hands in the bathroom and had it running for a while and it never dinged. So maybe just because it was that close, I didn't need it for so long or something. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, your little
What's
cakeys
for
are looking
dinner?
good.
Oh, there's Kevin and Hope. There's Top. 2 vets in a van.
Hi, guys.
We're having steak au jus sandwiches.
Yes, Jake's making it. I need to know what to make
good
alongside
ribeye.
of it. What do you make with steak sandwiches and au jus? Do you want me to make mashed potatoes and gravy? What goes with steak sandwiches? Gotta have a side.
Anything. Well, we'll have to check with Jake and see if they planned on a side because he said they were making dinner. So I don't know if it means he was making the main course or we make the side.
I don't know.
I mean, mashed potatoes, taking some of the au jus and you actually pull some off and make a thicker gravy.
Maybe.
Yeah, a good ribeye would be awesome right now.
Mm-hmm.
Sausage gravy. It's never bad to have sausage gravy. We made up that sausage when we had the omelets, so that was pretty good.
Of course. I'm gonna check your little thingamabobbers here.
Patrick said salad. Maybe potato salad?
Oh, hey,
Corn.
babe. Your little cakes are done.
Nice. That's what I'm talking about. Paul's waiting for his Chinese to get there. Ooh, that sounds good too. Let's see. Joe said fries or chips for Paul's kids. Goes with steak sandwiches.
Okay, I can make homemade fries.
All right, Philip. Glad you could come on, buddy. Go enjoy. Stay dry. Yeah. So Kevin and Hope said, yep, steak fries. So steak fries it is.
Steak fries it is.
For the win. We should probably make sure we even have enough potatoes.
Yeah, I don't know if I did or not. If not, It might just be one of those where.
There's a few in there.
Is there a few in there?
Now they need used up. They're starting to spud.
Ah. All right, baby. Here comes your little. I don't know what they are,
Can't
but
beat a king prawn chow mein with barbecue spare ribs.
oh, that doesn't sound bad.
Okay, I'm in.
I think my big cake still has a little. Yeah, it's a little bubbly on top, so that still has a little bit more time.
Although we do have this stuff that if one of these days when you're feeling much better because it's a process to make, you got to do your homemade crab ragoons.
Yes, my crab ragoons
And your
my
egg rolls.
Egg rolls, yeah.
I think that's probably my most favorite part. I mean, I like the sweet and sour chicken going to like the Chinese buffets, but man, I eat my weight in. Well, you can see because of the rain. Look at the steam. I bet the water's running pretty good in the creek right now. I wonder if that's why all that steam's coming out of the bottom.
Could be.
I hope it's steam and not smoke.
Well, they were doing a controlled burn on this set of
Yeah, somebody was saying, I seen pictures yesterday, and I'm like, ooh, we don't need to burn the ridge down.
I know what I can use the rest of this for.
Holy crap, you guys have been on long enough to not only make them in real time, but bake them also.
I know, right? I'm not mad at it.
We're making everybody hungry.
I mean, one, we've not really
Patricia
ever done
Rayfield
lives.
coming in, hello. Well, that's the fun part of going live from this channel is typically it's at a weird hour and we're not going after somebody's not going after us.
It's...
So.
Ooh, I'm having a Charlie horse. Look
Oh.
at that. Look at that. That's a Charlie horse right there. Hand me my pickle juice.
Jokes.
Look what it's doing.
Say, love your apron, Tara. That style is my favorite. I love your.
That's a Charlie horse, y'all. Oh,
That's,
yes.
What's that one movie it comes off from, right? Use the strong hand.
It's been doing that where I'll just be like, right. Good thing I put in my apron.
Yep, crab ragoon is my favorite, says Patrick. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I've nailed that recipe there.
Well, Paul talking to Kevin about where at in England. And what are you making us all? Oh, what are we doing making everybody hungry? Well, that's what we're good at. Y'all know my bride loves to cook, and now that she's feeling good enough to get some stuff going.
I know.
It started out as just a Jell-O poke cake, but she had some extra batter, so she made me a couple chocolate chip.
I don't know. I threw things together and made some homemade chocolate syrup.
Evelyn
with
Newman's like, ouch! But all I can think of is like, what is that movie? Was that Scary Movie that he did it, where the one dude with the messed up hand was like, use your strong hand.
I don't know.
And he's got all like deformed.
Well, what was it? Just kind of like janked itself. I'm like, give me my pickle juice.
So what are you doing? Oh, I've seen that one, yeah.
Yeah, these are jakes. I'm gonna put these over here.
Oh yeah, don't turn them into croutons. I think we need
No,
them
I'm
together.
probably pretty angry
Right
with you.
next to the Tide Tunnels. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sure Kevin knows right from that.
Sorry.
For Charlie horses, use dill pickle juice, and you can also use a yellow mustard. Yes, that's what actually you were probably typing it as she did it, but yes, that's exactly what she did. It was just she uses up the pickles, but we keep the jar of pickle juice in there because she'll drink that for. Yes, Patricia, we are glad that Tara is feeling better.
Ugh.
My house is smelling better
Me
for it.
too. I think I'm gonna use the leftover chocolate.
Cakes.
The leftover chocolate syrup to make a whipped vanilla and chocolate swirl frosting.
You had me in chocolate. Sounds complicated.
All right, how much?
I love the juice from the pickle onions.
I love pickle juice, period. I was that weird child that would take, remember all the other neighborhood kids were using their little popsicle stick Tupperware popsicle makers to make regular like Kool-Aid ones and Hawaiian punch ones, and I'm like going around asking everybody for pickle juice, and I made pickle sickles. That was me. That was me.
I mean, I like pickles on my hamburger, but no, I don't want no pickle sickle. Scary Movie, that's what it was from. See, Patrick knew. I knew Patrick's always got my back of what the movies are. You never watched any movies, so you wouldn't know, but... Yeah.
I watched movies.
Scary Movies. Got high.
No, not scary movies.
Well, This one wasn't. It was called Scary Movie, remember? But it was more of a it was a
Yes.
comedy spoof.
Did I tell you guys about our first night
Why are
in
you
New
waving a
Orleans?
knife at him? You're being so
Oh, I don't know.
threatening him?
Did I tell them about when I woke up in the middle of the night and you were doing your thing?
Probably not. I don't know.
Oh my gosh! So it was the first or second night.
Pickle moonshine? I know. I think I'm actually
New
going to buy it when I
Orleans.
see it.
And I was up at like 2 a.m. You guys know me. I wake up all different times. And I woke up to Halloween. Jason, I don't know, whichever the Jason movie.
Michael Myers from
Michael
Halloween.
Myers from Halloween. That's when I woke up on the TV, and the lady's screaming, and then there, just awful night. I had to get out of bed to go get the knife. I think I actually shared this on our pop-up live. I don't remember, and I had to get out of bed and go to Jason's side of the bed to grab the remote, and so I finally got that changed, and I went back to bed, or I got back into bed, and I'm still a little freaked out because I can't do scary movies, guys. I just can't. And I look over at Jason because out of the peripheral, and he's laying there in bed, and I see him raise his arms straight up, just straight up in bed, and then he starts doing this. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. And it wasn't for like just a short amount of time. It was a long time. Like, I'm freaking out, and I'm laying there in bed, and I'm in the middle of New Orleans in a not so perfect place hotel. I'm freaking out, right? And then he puts his arms back down, and he shifts, and he goes back to sleep. Well, I'm wide awake. My adrenaline is pumping between, Michael Myers and then my husband doing this whole weird thing. I can't go back to sleep. So then I look over again because something catches my eyes, and he does it again, and he's got his arms up, but then he's doing the other hand, and he's doing, y'all, I was freaked out. I could not sleep. So the night that we got onto the ship, or the day that we were to get on the ship, I had been up since like 2 a.m. I could not go back to sleep. I can't do scary movies for one, and then my husband's doing weird crap in his dreams. No things.
Paul's like, oh hell no. I was asking about it. That's it. He said, oh hell no, to being a Sunderland fan. Wow, that sounded good. It was some scary.
It was spooky. Creepy.
Tara's waving that knife, guys. I think I messed up. Paul Honeyman. That's what you do, Sir Paul. Hit the like button. Make sure you're still subscribed. Thank you for that reminder, Jennifer. I have the same one as y'all, and it works amazing. This is now the.
Oh, maybe that is the same what?
I don't know. Whatever you're talking about when I went outside.
I was telling them about how you were doing this weird stuff.
Karen Klugel, happy Valentine's Day, Tara. Well, happy Valentine's Day to you.
Happy Valentine's Day. I still don't know what he was dreaming about, and of course he doesn't remember his dreams, so he don't know.
I never remember what I dream about.
I do.
Oh, the same knife. That's what they were talking about.
I don't know. I got it at the thrift shop. I like it. Well, all my thrift stuff is at the thrift shops. Got me some hot water.
Yeah. Well, I forgot too when I went out there, and I went to change it over, and we were on a 20-pounder. That's why it ran out.
Well, yeah, that's why I was.
But I had all them other ones, so.
I know I was worried.
Was he swimming? I don't know what I was
No
doing.
idea.
Like, she was telling me about it, and I'm like, I have no idea. I mean, I can't even think of like what is.
Now, mind you, though, So then, when we got back
It
from
was the ghosts of New Orleans that were getting me or something, I guess.
when we got back from the cruise, we went back to the same hotel because that's where our rooms were booked. And I wake up again in the middle of the night. Friggin' same movie. There's Jason or Michael Myers or who I don't know, one of them. Halloween, the exact same show, right? I don't even know what we were watching. The same channel would have been on again. So of course I look over at Jason.
Well, no,
and he's
because
gonna
that
do his thing.
time you said that you'd actually
I turned the
We
channel.
went to sleep with a different TV show on or channel than when we were there before, but when you started turning the channel,
Oh, that's right.
it went to.
It was back to the Halloween thing, and then the very next channel I went to was Pennywise from It. I think that's what I'm like. Oh no, I need to sleep. But there again, scary movies. I can't go back to sleep. So on the return day trip, I was up from midnight on.
I wasn't.
I was. It was awful. Awful, awful, awful. I can't do scary movies. Ho ho ho. That cake looks like it's about ready to start. I think it was the whole Freddy Krueger thing that did me in. No, I think it was my mom letting me watch The Exorcist when I was like 6.
Top says it was just me ground guiding in '88. And actually, it was funny because we were telling Eric and Missy about it, and Eric's like, "I bet it was something in the military. Like you were probably guiding." And I was like, "That would be the only reason. Like my arms would be out. Right? It is like ground guide signals." So, I actually forgot we were talking about that until Top put it in there, and I was like, "You know, that makes sense." What else? Because it was Friday the 13th yesterday. Yesterday was, but I mean, this was last weekend. You should binge watch The Walking Dead.
I don't do well with suspense, and I don't do well with scary movies. One, my sister used to terrorize me after scary movies, and her and her friends would like act it out, like they're possessed or, and we were left home alone, and so the movies came to life in my own real life, and they were very elaborate in their scaring of me. It honestly traumatized me. I can't watch scary movies.
Yeah, anything. Like, even when we're watching a show and they get to the point where it's like, it's not a scary show, but they have that suspenseful moment where, like, someone will jump out or something happens and then she'll jump off the dang couch. I laugh, but she's like, all right, now I'm done. She wouldn't even want to.
Yeah, I don't find it enjoyable. Like, I remember when the Nightmare on Elm Street series was really popular. And, she'd corralled me in my room, like scared me enough that I ran to my room, and there were times I really did think my sister was possessed because she'd act it out and play it out. And I ran upstairs to my room, and I was up against the door just bawling and crying. I was like 13 at the time. That's how long in my lifetime this went. And I remember her coming to the door and using her nails and like scraping it down along the door. And, I really thought Freddy Krueger was coming to get me, right? And I got down and I looked underneath the crack of the door. I'm not joking now. It could have just been my brain in this terrified place, right? When I looked under the door, it was work boots I saw, not my sister's shoes. To this day, I will swear by it. I don't know. Could have been my brain playing tricks on me.
Well, I remember the odd part. Yeah, like we had went somewhere. One of my mom's friends, and we all, like my little brother and I, were with mom obviously, and we had stayed the night at this guy's house, and he had the whole collection of the Friday the 13th out, and we're like, oh, we can, because we had seen like one or two of them or whatever. But we hadn't seen like all of them, and then to be able to binge watch. So my brother and I actually sat there and watched the entire series that night. But then it didn't really bother either one of us. Like we weren't like afraid of the dark, weren't afraid of any of those types of things. And that another one of our friends, we would go to his house, and he actually had this metal statue. It was kind of cool of Freddy Krueger on that like metal throne. That he had in one of the movies, and so we used to love playing with that thing and checking it out, especially after we had watched the whole series. And neither one of us were totally freaked out at all over any of that until my dad and stepmom had rented a house that was a block away from the school that we'd be going to, because we moved in with my dad, and
I like this.
the road that school was on was Elm Street. And so then it was like, yeah, we're not taking the trash out after dark. We're not going over to the school after dark. Like, that's Elm Street. Like, we just watched all the Freddy Krueger and just thought that, well, what is the chance that we just binge watched this and now we're moving a block away from Elm Street? Like,
yeah, so for me, I don't like scary movies. I just don't. Yeah, using the bread knife is much better. I should have known better.
Paul says, my sister would get me to take her to the cinema for the scary movies she wanted to see. Saw a few doozies that put her off scary movies for life.
Yeah.
He goes, am I mental, or would anyone else have opened the door and screamed, whoever was there, to piss off? And that was, I think, a lot of times with my brother and I, because we're like, you watch, especially when you're that young, you watch some movies and you don't necessarily realize that they're a movie, they're fake, right? And then to be put into a house that you have to live in now, and you have to walk Elm Street during the day because, it was the other side of the block. It was one street over, and we had to cross it to go to school every day.
Well, I don't think it's just that either. I think that there's a lot to be said about what you allow into your mind, what you allow into your thoughts, what you allow into your home. Like, I know I would not feel comfortable putting on like The Exorcist or any kind of that kind of movie in my home, in this home. I just don't want it. I don't want that energy in my surroundings and my thoughts in my brain and in my home.
Well, what about, like, what was it?
Ah! See, I hurt myself enough.
Take, what was that, Poltergeist? And then you watch that one, and of course back then, right, it was like, what, midnight that all the TV broadcasts kicked off, and you just got the gray, and then you wake up and you got that going on your... I mean, my brother and I thought we were pretty awesome to get our own TV. Of course, it was a black and white, had the old dials, but we had it in our room, and then, you'd wake up to...
The white noise.
Let's see, Patrick said, I watched American Werewolf in London at a friend's house, then had to walk home through about 60 foot of wooded area. I think that was a good jog after the first 20 feet.
Yeah.
Tamara says, yep, I agree, Tara, you're inviting that into your home.
Yep.
Yeah. No, and there is some of that stuff. I mean, you got to be careful with doing any of those types of things. I mean, I guess a lot of it depends on if you're a believer, but believe it or not, there's a lot of that really happens. Whether you believe it or see it, it really does. So you definitely got to be careful of what you're bringing in, what you're...
one of the best things I ever heard from a minister...
Oh, it'd be awesome if she was making some bread pudding, Paul, but no, she's cutting these up into be croutons.
But one of the things that... And I can't remember, I couldn't even quote you who it is. It could even have been Aunt Willa. Possibly. Not sure. But you can't believe in God and not believe in the devil. So many times people dismiss this spirit of the devil and, oh, well, he's not real. Hell's not real. You're like, well, you can't believe in God and not believe in the devil. And if you think that there are things placed here on this earth, I hope you would realize you're sadly mistaken. So it's being aware of...
Watch what you're doing. You're getting off close taking it.
Well, I don't want to squish them, and that's why I
Tamara
changed.
says it's real, and exactly. Yep, I have my own reasons for believing in the supernatural.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, Paul.
Right. Now, do I think it's as cut and dry? You guys have heard me say this before, too. No, I don't think it's as cut and dry. I think there are certain things that aren't in today's world of the Bible. I think that there's a lot to be said of, the other books that were not included in the final renditions, whether it's King James, any of the final ones. I think there's more out there than what we're being told.
Paul says, Tara, Satan is real, and he's the son of God. Or rather, a son of God. Yeah, absolutely.
And everyone's going to have their own belief system, and that's where I think just the conviction. Oh, looky there, babe.
Why would you do such a thing?
You can fish them out and eat them.
Well, I would if I didn't have to chew.
But yeah, you just kind of have to look at where your heart's convicted. And it didn't mean when I wasn't young,
Keep your stuff out of my chocolate. Like,
you know, watching scary movies at summer parties or playing light as a feather, stiff as a board. You know, all the little tween summer party things that you do as an adolescent, you know, you think it's all good fun. Playing the Ouija board and things like that. And you don't realize till later that.
No, that was my limit. I never messed with no Ouija board.
And I did. So, I mean, but I was jaded by Hollywood and jaded by, you know, I don't know, you don't think about those things when you're young. And so I think that's where you have to relate, or, you know, you have to really rely on your own convictions of the Holy Spirit to really tell you, okay, that's not okay. And it wasn't much long, probably into my 16, 17, 18-year-old self that I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want that in my life. So
yeah.
Ever since then, I've just never.
Tanner says, yeah, she never did either, or the tarot cards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, when you have conversations with people, everyone has a reason of why or why they don't or whatever, and you know the ones that do are very convicted because there's a lot of real things that happen to create that. Paul's saying, yeah, remember people that Lucifer was cast out by God for his uprising against his father.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean it's all written down right in there, and
will you put that on our list?
No.
This is the only olive oil I use.
What list am I creating?
It is the best olive oil, guys. Right here. You always want to look at your olive oils because look at the country of origin. If it has more than one country of origin listed on your label, it's most likely cut with a seed oil. Just saying. So, which I don't have my readers on, but one. And not only that, they offer you a, what are these called? QR codes. And you can actually trace the manufacturing of your product in there. And it's not overly expensive either, but it is the only olive oil that I do use. For that reason. You look at all the other olive oils and they're going to be cut with something. There's a reason they're cheap. So, that's what I use the most of. Clearly.
yeah, that was Tim sent me. What is this? The Montucky Cold Snacks Lager. Got them in. I guess Tim's in Nashville.
Tim is?
Everyone curious right now?
Nice.
I'll spill his beans for him.
I love these bottles. I should probably keep them and use them somehow.
That's called hoarding.
I know, but they're cool bottles.
Yep, Tamara said, "Oh, great to know." Yeah, there's a lot of research about anything really, but you look into some of these seed oils and the different oils and what's there, what's not. Olive oil should not be clear either.
Mm-hmm.
If it is, they either filtered out the olive bits or cut it. Yeah. But it's hard, like, you know, for a lot of people too, because you got to change a lot of your habits of eating. Like we were talking about this earlier, with going back to cooking with, you know, tallow and not using, using tallow and lard and bacon grease and all the natural fats that everything was cooked in for a long time before they created oils to cook in, and the health benefits to it.
Like these in a tiny one. And yes, these are my own basils and my own oreganos.
Blow out her mouth or fart.
What?
It was probably me stepping over there.
Oh yeah, no, he's the party tardy.
We can blame it on you. You're not feeling well, right? You got all the gastro going on or something.
I've not barely eaten the last week, so it's all on you.
I ate. But all I have to do is breathe.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Okay. I need to go put my feet up.
Oh, are you getting tired?
Well, my back's just not. I mean, I'm trying to stretch it and I keep getting up, but. Paul says, yeah, he uses the same olive oil. It's good stuff. But getting back into all those naturals and not having as much as I mean, granted, this bread is going to be made with preservatives and stuff.
I know, and I hate that, but
if you can reduce it, right? I mean, it's hard in today's society to totally remove it. I mean, even us, where we try to be as self-sufficient as possible, but there's no way that we're going to be able to like grow our own wheat to make flour and then grind it, and like, you know, we're not growing our own sugar, which there's ways of doing it from like sugar beets and stuff like that too, and there are alternatives. I can't say it's impossible, but also some of the conveniences. Yeah, Patrick, Jason, gassy, no way. See, Patrick's always got my back. I would never be gassy.
yeah, right. You are. You're hungry, aren't you, baby?
I'm just watching what you're doing. Normally you make these and I'm out doing something else. Jason was a spare gas in the tank. I know, they've always told me my whole life that if they could be able to like bottle that up, like I'd never have to stop at a gas station again.
Well, I think a lot of it too is you inhale your food. Like, I'm like, did you chew that?
Of course
I think there's a lot to be said with that as well.
I don't know. I've always been a fast eater. There's SW9495. I'm sure that's somebody we know, but YouTube puts the weird names in there, so.
It almost looks like it could quit raining.
Well, welcome in, SW. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know how much longer we're gonna go. I mean, if I'm in the kitchen cooking, I might as well be online, right? I mean, kind of keeps me from being.
I've done seen you make the cake. Well, your other one's not out yet, though, but the little ones are.
Yeah, the other one's got a little bit longer to go, and then it'll have to cool down before you can poke it. If you try to poke it when it's hot, it's not gonna poke well. So
That's not what I've been told. I was saying it out loud because Paul was already thinking it and halfway of typing it, so sorry you guys, but I got to go. Have a great weekend, everyone. Terry and Jason, love you guys. Love you too, Paul.
love you too, Paul.
Enjoy that Chinese.
Yes.
It was awesome, but yeah, I think with that, I mean, you're gonna finish up these, and
Yeah, I gotta pull your.
we've
cake
been
out.
on for a while. 2 hours and 47 minutes. I think that's enough time for y'all. Have a great weekend, everybody. Yes, absolutely. If you're getting rain and you stay warm and dry, this is a much needed rain. So I'm not really mad at it. It's kind of forcing us to be inside, but we're getting some stuff done that needed to be done.
We
anyways.
do have a lot of burning off to do, so I'm grateful for the rain.
Right, that was a big thing. I mean, I've got the big pile out back here, but more over by Jake and Jenna's, that area, we got a huge brush pile, and it's either move it to a different spot or just go ahead and burn it. And
We
I'd
could
rather
probably
just
have bonfires every night for a week and still not have all of it.
yeah. North America, we drink tea. The British eat tea.
I drink a lot of tea. Peppermint teas when I'm sick are my favorite. And then I was drinking some immune support teas as well. So that really helps. And then of course, what was my go-to? I had to have my milk toast.
Oh, the milk toast. I was like, what? I don't. You drank all your teas. I don't know. Like, but milk toast isn't a tea, so you threw me off.
Right.
Had
to have my milk toast.
So yeah, appreciate every one of you coming in here. We just figured this was the best way to go, and we always have fun doing it. And coming on this channel, of a little less people. Of course, been on for so long. So you got to watch her make some awesome food here in the kitchen and kind of be our normal. I'm just sitting on the sideline, being in the way most of the time. So at least now I had something to do and managed comments.
There it is, folks.
Woo! Oh, you almost trying to show off and be fancy and gonna drop it.
Alright, so just in case you're wondering, because we're gonna go off, you want to reduce your oven heat down to about 250, or even lower if you have a little extra time, for making croutons. I'm actually probably gonna go to 225. And bring that down because we're not trying to bake them, we're trying to dry them. Oh yeah, just a little tip. But I think I'm gonna do Parmesan too next. Were there any other flavors that you would want?
No,
Of
they're all good.
I'm curious now before we say goodbye, because these were the experiment. Actually, I'll reuse my knife. Oh, look, it's even got chocolate.
Well, it should. You put chocolate chips in there. Happy Valentine's. You all rock. Thank you, Ace. You guys are the rock stars. We just happen to show up here and turn the camera on.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna try a piece of this.
No, we ain't trying anything, but you can lick the bowl.
What?
Because it looks like the chocolate chips went to the bottom. Wasn't enough cake in the bottom to.
I tried to show you all a slice of it. She told me no.
No, you can have it yet. Don't even have it. You were just wishful thinking.
Oh. Alright, well, on that note, we'll send these people to their beautiful day. Enjoy your day, guys.
Yep.
Thanks for following along, and
Love you guys.
we'll see you next time we decide to do a random pop-up for almost 3 hours.
Oh, yeah. It all went to the bottom.
Alright, bye now.
Here, baby, you can